I think we're live. Sweat Equity Live. You want the hottie toddy? You want it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hottie toddy. God almighty. Sweat Equity Podcast coming to you from Toko Baga Consulting Office. Toko works. Yeah, it works. We work.
Woo!
We get shit done. We get poop emoji done. I'm your host, Law Smith. Sitting to my right, squeezed in the middle of a man sandwich. That could go a lot of ways. We're going with Samantha Gant of Social Alchemy. Let them hear you.
Hello, hello.
'Cause this is going to be
Friday.
live, and then I'm going to pull this, and I'm going to put it in audio.
Cool.
Another veteran of the show coming back. He is the nerdy Manny Ramirez. Let's give it up for 208 Monkeys, Damian Alpizar.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing out there?
So,
I love it when you do the opening though.
Yeah.
It's just fun for me.
Well, it's an old football thing. It's an old frat thing, and I realized I'm just going to be a bro comic. I'm going to be a bro. I've dealt with it. I'm a bro with gray pubes. That's yeah. I've got 3.
Wonderful.
It makes
counted them.
Yeah.
It hasn't got,
They stick out.
They stick out.
It hasn't gone down there for me yet. It's here, you know what I mean? And maybe.
You're not really gray.
Oh well, that's what eyeliner's for.
It makes my dick look distinguished.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know.
Wonderful.
Like
Does
George
Mona
Clooney.
like that? Yeah.
Yeah, she's down with it. So I wanted to do this because it's kind of a 2-year celebration of Tokubaga Consulting, this firm, this nerd agency. I thought it'd be kind of fun because we're kind of taking Friday off. We're going to do a brunch party on Sunday. I thought it'd be fun to do Facebook Live. And if anybody had any nerd questions, any video questions, any social media questions, any just general business questions, we could answer them live on Facebook. I've been wanting to do this for a while and just figured instead of doing, how about this? We could talk about this. Being a perfectionist over just starting to get stuff going. Because I tried to do this live and I try to get I want to get 3 experts in. We're going to do it on a Wednesday night. And I try to organize it and then just shit gets in the way. And I was like, why not today? It's a good day to be indoors because it's about 95 degrees outside.
In the shade.
And
it's freezing in here.
Why not just go ahead and do it and you get your licks while you're doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a question.
I mean, it's because of you that we actually started with the rap party, just putting it out there, even though, in video, and we do video, even though we want to perfect it. It's just one of those things that we're just doing on, in between time and on time. So we had to just accept the fact that, dude, sometimes you just got to put it out there.
Well, I gave you shit last night. You guys were recording last night. So if you go on the rap party video, the video from last night, they record Thursday nights. And I'm giving you shit only out of love.
Oh, of course. No.
I'm sitting there with a coughing baby, and I'm bored out of my mind. And so I'm just going to hate and just say, hey, your audio's fucked out. Or their Zoom was so far back.
It was.
You have 5 people. You guys are like the pregame of football shows where they just keep adding someone to the panel.
Yeah.
And it's like 7 people.
It was crazy that we actually were trying to get 2 more guests on there last night.
You can't have a tribe.
Why not? Hey, Law says there's no rules.
There is no rules.
All right, then.
It's like Outback. There's no rules. But I'm saying
nice plug.
Yeah, that's how I do it. Tampa, what?
Woo!
But I'm saying it's that thing of, then you got to look at it too and kind of quality control yourself.
Of course. And when we gave shout outs to all those interns that were behind the camera at that time, there were none.
Zero.
There was zero.
Okay.
It was set it and get in front of the camera and just go. And then look at it and go, oh shit, that looks like crap.
It's the Ronco system. Remember those infomercials? Set it and forget it.
Yes.
No one?
Except we can't forget it because unfortunately it's out there forever now on Facebook. And we'll be like, so you guys do video?
You guys do video production?
Listen, it's a lot better when we actually have
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm going to critique y'all more.
You guys are so good at everything that you do, so.
Oh, thanks. I did not pay her to do that, to say that.
Well, that's
maybe in beer.
That's why I'm going to critique you more because you're going to be under more scrutiny for the video you're putting out there, regardless of what it is. I mean, y'all just posted a really silly sketch, and it's weird how this is going to come back to y'all in a. It's going to be a good thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like putting funny video out there is always good, but you'll find out because I get it the same way too. Like, oh, well. Are you going to just do these kind of weird sketches for my company? It's like, no. This is all, there's a different context for everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things that you know, sometimes you got to be spontaneous. Sometimes some of the best ideas are spontaneous ones. But when you have a marketing plan, or when you want to plan things out, and this is what you were bringing up.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things that you do it and you put it out there,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. And there's some things that you sit there and you plan and you figure out a plan for it and you execute that plan and you do it well. And that's what really, I would say, we get paid, every one of us in our professions, we get paid to do that, but in our own personal businesses in our lives, sometimes that's where we get to experiment, we get to have a little fun, we get to try new things out, see how that works, and, you know, that happened to be one of those moments where like, fuck it, let's just put it out there and see what happens.
I love it. It's very Tim and Eric, like esoteric kind of comedy, like doesn't make any sense. But that's the best kind, I think, sometimes. Yeah. Especially when you're on a Friday afternoon kind of going through your feed and you're like, what is this?
You just like stop and be like, wait a minute. All right, I need to see that again to really absorb what's happening.
I really appreciated the fact that, especially Law understanding comedy, because he can literally look at something and go like, that's whack.
Yeah.
No.
For sure. But I mean, like, just the attempt is even good too, you know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of trying to make a perfectionist thing, like I have so many projects in the hopper that you just go, okay, we're gonna get to that, but I gotta make it better, and I gotta make it better. And I'm more of like, just get it up, just get going, and like, just point and shoot, like y'all did last night when you were delirious.
Yeah.
Garbanzo beans.
Tired and delirious, and that's what we came up with. And I'll tell you what, I mean, this is something that we're actually trying to get clients to do too.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, you need content. Sometimes you can't just wait on everything being like
perfect,
broadcast quality every time. Sometimes you just need to put content out there.
Well, and people like to see that too. Obviously, like polished, you know, production is always ideal, but people like to see also that raw, gritty kind of like real life situation.
Well, and what you do, how many, if you were going to give a fake ratio, I don't actually expect you to have a ratio number in your head.
What were we talking about?
Of like, here's the polished content that we have to put out there, like for example with like college hunks or something like that. Here's the polished content, and then here's like the cameo in the moment type stuff. What would you guess your ratio would be, if you had a guess?
In terms of, well, I guess the real question is, are you saying like in reaction?
You guys
like
are kind of
like about it?
You guys are on different sides of publishing video in a way, because she's doing a lot of social media, which is like, gotta do it right now, get it out.
Right.
You guys are doing a whole process of kind of video.
Production, pre-production, that whole.
What's really interesting is we're trying to meet in the middle and trying to figure out how to do this for clients. You know.
I think you need that nice mixture though, like having that good polished content, and I think it really depends on the client, like in what industry that they're in terms of what would be better for them and what kind of reaction they're going to get from their audiences.
Right, but Law managed. I mean, we were talking about one of the clients that you were working with, Law, that managed to still be. He was still spontaneous because we were able to give him a quick setup.
Mm-hmm.
But so he was able to react. He was able to react to current things. So I guess that's the thing, is that you have to be able to react to certain current events, especially when it comes to social media.
Yeah.
Oh, we can bring him up. That one we can bring up by name. It's Hillsborough Defense, a criminal defense attorney. No, it's fine. Yeah. He's cool with it. Some guys aren't, so I have to be very touch and go.
That's why I didn't know your name, right? I was just like, you know.
No, defending the Bay. Yeah. But he's like, I want to talk about. I like Bachelor in Paradise. Do you like that show?
I don't know what that is.
The Bachelor, but in Paradise?
Oh! No, I'm not into that.
He had something that related to some criminal defense case, and I was like, yeah, go for it. That's what this is good for. Like, we'll set up a studio. We have this podcast as a place to kind of a forum to speak about whatever. He needs that to just go. He's going to be real tight like a news anchor and just pop in and go, what's up, and then pop back out.
Yeah. And it still looks professional.
Yep.
To the level of a lawyer's standard. It's still clean, still professional, but it can still be spontaneous.
To a lawyer's standard, it's way better. Look at law.tv or even my buddies over at Crisp Video over in Atlanta. Well, I got an Auburn friend over there, but you know, it's not real. It's not authentic. And I think that's all three of us are trying to get to for a lot of people is you have a brand and what people respond to. Same with comedy. People respond to authenticity. When it's fake and too sugar-coated and there's too many producers in there, it's not good. You get like a very watered-down product.
Sterile.
It's an ABC Family or Lifetime, kind of program.
And I think people, especially with everyone putting their stuff out there on Facebook or whatever the case is, people can kind of see when it's like, okay, yeah, you're really faking it right now. You can see through the bullshit.
Oh,
basically.
definitely.
And it doesn't really win you any favors when you try to, you could go out there produced and say, look, I'm trying to present a professional message of some sort, and then you can accept that, and that's okay. Or you can go out there and be like, hey, I'm being social, I'm being myself, I'm being real, I'm coming to you, and that's acceptable. But that medium, that middle ground where you're produced but you're pretending to be fake or pretending to be real,
That's where
that
people
seems
I don't
like,
think respond very well.
yeah,
You need to be transparent.
yeah, transparency. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You need
yeah.
to be.
I mean,
Because people can see through it.
and people are going to have to, on our side, a lot of firms are going to have to deal with that. They're going to have to figure out how to be more transparent because the information's starting to get out there about how this really goes and how much cost this really should be and how this should be delivered. And that's been my big thing with the 2 years we've been doing this firm is like, I know, it's not like I want to keep it a secret because I'm a bad liar. You know, what's the Mark Twain quote? You might have to Google this, but it's like, I don't have any problems. I don't tell any lies or something, so, oh, God damn it, I just butchered it. But my favorite actor, Val Kilmer, would be devastated about that. He's doing a Mark Twain play over there down the street.
Really?
Yeah, he's playing Mark Twain. Mm-hmm.
Little Mark.
Val Kilmer's down the street right now.
He'll be here in July.
Oh, well, damn.
Yeah, I know.
We gotta go to that.
Yeah,
At the Ybor Improv.
sneak into the back. No, I mean, buy tickets for it.
Yeah. My wife was awesome, and she was like, would you want to see that? And I'm like, man, if I met him at Comic-Con, which he'll be out here too, I guess he's got a Florida run or
Are we
something.
going, by the way? I thought we were gonna all go
Yeah, we're
together,
going to
maybe.
Comic-Con.
Okay.
I'm out. I've already been. I've performed at it. We've
Doesn't
performed
mean
in
you
one of
can't
those.
come like in a squad, like.
It bums me out. There's so many nerds that are getting ripped off and they don't know it.
That is sad. Don't look at it that way.
I've been a performer in there, which is like they paid us.
Alright, so
zero.
we're gonna go, right?
Yeah, you guys go.
I go and I have a good time. I actually have a better time taking pictures with other nerds in their great costumes.
Yeah,
I have a good
Can you
time
dress
looking at
up?
some stuff.
I'm not into
Of
that
course
stuff.
we're dressing up.
I like it. I like the movies.
course
I'm
we're
just
dressing
not into it. You guys are into it.
Oh yeah. You're gonna go in a Pikachu
I was
outfit?
just gonna say, now where's the fine line between anime and
There's no line.
comic?
Just do you.
Just okay.
Do
'Cause
you. Pick
I
a
got a
character, do it.
lot of Pikachu happening over here.
Pick a
so.
character, do it. Don't even think about it. Don't even.
I'm so
No one
excited.
cares. All they care about is like, can I take? Do you look
Yeah.
good? Are you selfie material? Let me take.
Are you selfie material?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
you
biggest thing. Is
guys.
like, are you worthy of me taking a picture and posting? Are you gonna help people? Are people gonna like your picture when I take it? You know what I mean, that's all they care about. At Comic
I know.
Con.
Well, you guys, happy late National Selfie Day. That was earlier this week.
Wow.
I did not know that was a thing.
That was the thing.
That
Yeah,
was the
I didn't
thing.
know either.
Today's National Pink Day too. Can we talk about the fact that every day now is a National Something Day?
But who's
I don't like
who's
it.
claiming
I don't
that?
either. I know.
Who was like, hey, today's National Selfie Day.
Corporations,
Hallmark.
Hallmark,
Yeah.
candy companies,
You know,
Clorox. I
It's
don't know the
American
big
Gods
ones.
all over again. It's Mr. World.
So what? I don't like that. I don't like. It's like, hey, this is Pancreatic Cancer Week. And
Well,
you're
this
like,
Sunday
huh?
is National Tocobaga Day, right?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
So hey, if everyone else is doing it, we can claim our own
So
day.
people, if they're watching, they're in the Tampa Bay area, you want to come to the Bricks in Ybor on Sunday. We're going to be celebrating with mimosas. Maybe we'll get the Mevo camera and just set it up and
Why
just
not?
let it roll.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people get weird on camera.
Man, you know what? That thing right there. Most of you out there probably have never seen what a Mevo camera looks like. If I set that up in a
So
corner,
unintentionally.
people
Yeah.
won't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, it just
We'll try
might.
to talk into
I'll
it.
put some tinsel around it or some shit like that. They'll just think it's
Oh, yeah, that'll.
hang some beads on it.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about that
Incognito.
thing with tinsel on it. That lens.
It'll be incognito. It'll be like it's in disguise. No one will know what it is.
That blinking thing that's like just got a little bit of like Jerry curl tinsel on it. That's how I viewed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
What? So what? I want to talk about with Sam. I want
Yes.
to talk Instagram stories.
Oh my gosh.
I need to know more about it, and
I
I
don't
figure why.
understand it at all.
So good, even better. I know a little bit. You don't know anything. Lay it on us. Like what's going on? First off, what's going on with Snapchat and SnapMap? Huh?
Yes, yes. So,
'Cause
not
I
yesterday,
sent you
the
the
day
text.
before they came out.
Mhm.
Well, okay, so not yesterday, but the day before, Snapchat announced that they, were going to have this new feature, which was basically you can pinch your screen and a map is going to show up. And unless you, like your friends or whatever, like go into ghost mode, you are now going to be able to be tracked as where you are based off of you having Snapchat. And the point of it is so that people aren't lonely. Like, I think in like the commercial, well, I know in the commercial that they came out with, basically it's like these two girls, they're done with like dinner or whatever, and they're like, what should we do next? And then they like look through their phone and they're like, well, it looks like Bradley's over here doing this. It looks like Sarah's over here doing this. Oh my God, we should go meet up with Sarah. So that's the point behind it. But there is that flip side, which is what you sent me was this like basically like a warning post that for parents saying, you know, Snapchat just came out with this, be concerned, you know, your child can be tracked now. So there is that side of it, but that's why they have the ghost mode. What's really cool though is before with Snapchat, you would just see like stories happening around you. Now you can look at that map, and if there's something happening, let's say in Yosemite, when you're over Yosemite, you're going to be able to click that and you're going to see all the content coming from there. Now,
So the big problem with the kids part is that the default mode is not like a protected
it asks
mode.
you, no. It's very apparent, like when you first go into the app and like start using that section of it,
Yeah.
it automatically pushes to you saying, how do you want to be viewed? How do you, like, it's not automatically like hidden where you have to go through a bunch of settings to find it.
But right, but let's play it like a kid, right? What do you think most kids are going to do?
Just keep clicking okay.
Right. And so the okay to me is default.
Right.
So that means most kids are going to be on this default mode that's trackable. I'm not a big like.
Well, you know,
I'm not a big like concerned person about this stuff. But when I saw that, I was
right
like,
now I have
it's fucked
Snapchat
up.
on, right? So are you seeing
Did
me?
you? No, because did you update?
No, I did not update. So
You have to do the update,
Okay.
I don't know how
and
to use
then
Snapchat.
but right here, like it knows I'm an Ybor,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a little ghost over my face. But this is also now content over in Tampa Heights because I'm clicking that, you know. But
you don't
Okay.
want. So you don't want. It basically is like Pokemon. Remember when that was out?
Yeah.
it's just like Pokemon Go.
But
Now your kids
Snapchat's
are Pokemons?
right.
Yeah,
Gotta
you're
catch 'em
gotta
all.
catch 'em.
That's
That's
what I'm
so
saying.
creepy.
It's like a Jared Fogle tool.
Darn creepers always messing things up.
Oh.
They should call it the Fogle.
I gotta share this piece of information with you guys, though.
All right, so lay it down. So SnapMap, you think this is gonna have a blowback? Snapchat's kind of getting in this weird way where it's like, are they gonna be fucking awesome? Or are they?
It's
Are they
like,
gonna
it's
die
like
out?
Right now, it almost felt like it was a little bit of a weird Tinder type situation where it's like, hey, creeper, this girl that I've been stalking is right in my area.
Well, which is why, you know, whenever you are utilizing this, keep in mind all the different things that could happen if you are discoverable. What I thought was really interesting about this, though, was Snapchat secretly went out and spent anywhere between $250 to $350 million acquiring Zenly, which is a map app, which now they own. They're still going to have it operate in its own way, just like how Facebook bought Instagram and is letting Instagram still operate as Instagram. But I thought that was a very interesting acquisition that many people were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This just is crazy.
It's what you got to do. You're basically, when you're in the top of the heap, you got to start acquiring all the
Acquiring and
all the
buying
little
all the little
things,
competitive
like Google
stuff.
Maps buying Waze, which
Yep.
could be kind of social media in a way,
Yeah.
because it's connecting a lot of drivers. But
So-
it also is good for like
Yeah.
your Dunkin' Donuts and you want some ads.
Yeah.
Hey, next exit.
So what'll be interesting though is discovering how this could be used for business application. So I'm looking forward, you know, to exploring it a little bit more and testing out a few things because it's once again a new outlet that businesses
I guess
can
businesses
harness.
could use that. If I was holding an event, let's say I'm down in the bricks, I'm holding an event, I turn on my Snapchat in there, and any people who might follow the bricks on Snapchat
Right.
might be able to know what kind of events are happening right around them. So
Exactly. Or even people who aren't, if you do like a paid kind of thing, then the people that are around that are looking for things to do will see that they're in that area and the bricks is holding an event.
you remember To Catch Predator?
Yes.
What if To Catch Predator upgraded? Started using Snapchat to catch predators, but you know what I mean? They would be like, hey, look, there's a thing of like innocent schoolgirls in this area right here, right now. Just try to get
Chris Hansen
just,
pops
just,
out?
Yeah, he just pops out and he's like, with his phone, he's like,
It's like,
so
what are you doing?
I thought
you're
about
according to your post.
I thought about Chris Hansen last night. I saw Zemo's on sale at the grocery store.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like,
Zima.
man, that is going to be the new, like, I just was bringing over a 6-pack of Zima, internet friend. I mean, it's creepy. I feel like most parents don't have time to keep up with this, or like just
aren't aware
just the
that it's
brain
even
capacity.
happening.
Yeah. I mean, how many things can you pay attention to at once?
I mean, but realistically, if somebody wants to find you in this day and age, this small piece of technology that came out isn't going to make that big of a difference. Like, if somebody really wanted to find your kid,
So
they
in
could
other
find
words,
them
don't
easily. No, exactly. I don't think it's something to panic
You're-
about.
yeah,
Of course, they're
oh,
going to be
you're
people
fucked
that freak
anyway.
out, but
So-
like, you're basically like already trackable through so many different ways that if somebody really wanted to like,
I'm the
they
worst.
could find
I'm,
you.
I'm that guy who's like, hey, this app wants access to, yeah, fuck it. You go ahead, take it. You
I know. You're like,
got
I
it
don't read
already
the fine
anyways.
print. I don't read it. It's
a-
not necessary.
It's philosophically, it's like I heard a hardcore Republican talking about that. He's like, I'm not worried about any of this because I'm not doing anything wrong.
Well, that's another thing too.
So
Are you doing something that you should be concerned about?
So I mean that's where it breaks down, and then you go,
Let's move
well,
on.
I don't need stuff following me all the time. All right, so Instagram stories.
Okay, so
So
kind of segue.
Snapchat has. All right, you gotta really dumb this down.
I know, I'm going to.
Because I don't even know that well, and I'm in this world, and I default to you for these kind of answers. But
Yeah.
Snapchat basically it's a silly app. It's like.
It's
You
text
wanna-
messaging with your face.
Right. It's cool. I mean, I think it's interesting how the technology is. I don't really give a shit about looking like a puppy, but
I think the brand stuff is really
I
cool.
look.
yeah, the
I
branding
Look, I look
opportunity.
pretty cute as a puppy. Though.
I've done it for festivals where you can brand a geofence area
Yep.
where it can
You
say
can do the filters with
right.
it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Great exposure.
I might maybe I might do it for this office, but
You
it's,
should. I don't know why.
it's expensive. It's really expensive for not a lot of give out. Right, for a festival, it makes sense. For our office, until I get some kind of mural up here where people want to take a picture in front of
True.
stuff, right now I've failed as an interior decorator.
It's okay. We're gonna go get you a picnic bench very soon.
This white table, I fucking hate them. I want them out of here. I'm gonna get green felt, that carpet felt stuff.
So it looks like grass.
Looks like grass.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go
Alright.
whole
We're gonna have to do-
lantern can lights.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh my
This
god.
is
bug juice on tap.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, but basically, Snapchat and Instagram over the past, like, probably like 3 or 4 months have been in a more public heated battle, I would call it.
okay.
Because at one point, you know, Facebook did try to acquire Snapchat and they basically said screw off. So now when they bought Instagram, they want to figure out how can we beat out Snapchat? How can we take the technology that they have and make our apps better? So it's been in the news a lot more because people are very obsessed with these two platforms. So what Instagram did a few months ago was come out with a version of Snapchat on their platform. So as you guys probably have seen on Instagram, you have your news feed, but then at the top there's these little circle face bubbles, and that is that 24-hour content that is there. Now what brands are doing are, for example, like let's say like Louis Vuitton, they're really, really good at utilizing the stories. They shoot, you know, whatever kind of events that they have going on. Leading up to it, they will have different graphics that are beautiful, different videos that are beautiful, formatted here saying this event's coming up and we're going to be showing everything about it. Whether that be that they hit live and then it is just like how Facebook Live is, but on Instagram and showing the fashion show, or doing different photos as they come down the runway. And then additionally, of course, they have that forever content that stays on their timeline about it. But to really get that inside look, you got to be tuning in to that 24-hour content that's only going to be there for that long. Facebook now has adapted that too, but not as many people are using it as Instagram.
I'm scared to touch some of those bubbles at the top. I'm like, what?
Why?
I've
It's so much
touched
fun.
on this.
I literally get sucked in.
I don't want to accidentally like.
You guys are on my bubbles right now.
Yours is always at the top.
Because
and
she's always putting something up there.
right.
I don't know. She's
See?
constant. Yep.
So-
And then what's great too is like from a branding perspective, like one of my clients out in Orlando, they have a great following of different people, different demographics. And what's nice is that based off of people viewing it, you have a list of who looked at it. So now I could say, okay, well, this type of content really, after looking at, a few of the profiles, seeing what they have in common, saying, okay, predominantly this type of content works for this portion of our audience. So it's a nice way to see, analytics right there and then and what kind of people are reacting to it. So then you can make more content that's for those type of people if you want to target them more. Or you can, on the flip side, say, okay, well, these aren't really the demographics that we're looking for, even though they are following us. Let's try something new.
So you're going to do one right now?
I'm going to do my first
Yes, do
Instagram
it.
story right now.
You should do a boomerang, though, or a video.
I don't get the boomerangs either.
Oh, boomerang.
God, I'm turning into like an old fart. Like,
Alright, so
I don't
this
get
is
these
me.
It's called
boomerangs.
booming.
Booming?
Yeah.
So this is
Come on,
me. So what I
That's
do?
what you do when you hit someone.
Me here. What I do?
Yep. So what you would do is
No.
you can either hit your face here,
Hit my
or you can
face.
slide. Oh wait, yeah. See, you slide to the
Slide
to the left.
Slide to the right.
And then down here, so you're gonna see this, and you can either hold that down and it'll be a video, or you could start sliding through, and you could do like your live version. Whoop. You could do a boomerang.
Yeah, get your branding on, dude. You
So-
gotta get your branding on.
Exactly.
Because we're about to boomerang.
Alright.
No, I gotta say vertical, right?
No, you could do it the other way too.
Will it orient?
Well, it'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because I hate
This
it
is
when I
good
do
for the-
Facebook Live and I
This
do
is
it
good for the
sideways.
audio listeners.
Yeah, listen, guys. I'm about to do a vertical boomerang Snapchat thing here. All right, so I'm gonna probably just go. I'm gonna whip it and whip it back. Okay. Whip,
All right.
Whip. Let me see where the ball's at. Whip back. Here we
All
go.
right. Ready?
Do I
You
gotta
gotta
hold it?
be quick. No, you just hit it.
Just hit it.
Yep. You gotta be quick though.
Got it. I'm gonna be some motion blur here. So ready and boom, boom. Ah, that was wow. Let me see what. Holy, nope, that won't work.
Too fast.
So
Too
what-
fast.
Too
Too
fast.
fast.
So don't shake it like Blair Witch.
Yeah, I'm Blair. Okay, let's just get all that in here. You gotta bring my mic over so that way you guys can continue to. Oh, fuck it. I'm going this
Yeah, I
way.
was gonna say it's
Fuck
so much
I'm going
easier.
this way.
This is quite a production.
Yeah, right? Here we go. And 3, 2, do something silly. Ooh,
Boss
what do I do?
just sitting there.
I know.
He's just like,
Oh, I'm the constant though. If I'm just sitting there.
you look.
I'm cool with
the way
that,
You're
right?
grinning. You're
Yeah.
like,
So do I
Like
put that
I
to my story? Do I save it? What do I do? Hit next?
okay, so then now
Give me a fucking lesson.
you have some options here, right?
Oh.
So basically, for those that are just listening, after you're done, you're going to see your content. Now, there's going to be a screen at the top that you can either type something if you want to put some text with it, or you could hit the little sticker thing. Oh, okay, sticker. All right. Now, this is what is also really cool that Instagram just came out with.
Okay.
So now they're doing stories based off of your geolocation.
Okay.
So you can get exposed to a newer audience than just yours because your content is going to be added to this location story. So if you hit location, and then,
Hit the
we can
bricks.
hit 208 Monkeys,
No one's looking for us. Go to the bricks.
but it knows that you're in Tampa.
Ah, well, that's fine.
So
We're working our way up.
No, I'm saying, so what'll happen is, and you can shrink it, do whatever you want with it, play with it. But then now you can hit next, and there's also filters you can swipe through. But you can just hit your story, and it'll be for anybody and everybody. Or if you just want to talk to certain people about that,
Okay.
then it'll private message them. But I suggest doing
Put it
that,
out to the
and
world.
hit send. And then if you want to see who's looked at it, so it's posting right now, you would just swipe up, and then it'll start populating.
What? I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I know.
I'm cool. You haven't seen Guardians 2?
I haven't yet.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I'm an old dad man now.
You're gonna enjoy the
You're
hell
not
out
an
of it.
old dad, man.
But I've always acted older than I actually am anyway. I kind of embrace it being an old crab, basically. Just
You're
like
an old crab.
just being a curmudgeon. I kind of like it. I'm just trying to change the title on this. So this podcast is also an experiment while we're doing this.
You got some cartoon animation
Wow.
going on with you.
This is also
You know
an
that would have
experiment.
cost money back in the day to do. Now they have it in an app.
So what did that look like before Snapchat? Do you think?
What do you mean?
Doing that,
Yeah,
doing the animation.
doing animation. These filters.
Oh my God! Okay, listen. Back in the day, before you had that, you would have to track the face. You had to make some actual animation first. Track the face, put different points on the face, track it, and then render it and all this other stuff. And it'd be this pain in the ass. Now they're doing it live, and it's filters. Face tracking has gotten so good.
Do you know what is very interesting? Okay, so Snapchat did not realize how big they were going to be or like how much they were going to contribute to augmented reality and like all the things that are coming out. I mean, Facebook during their keynote, I don't know, what was it, like 2 months ago or so? It is incredible, but really the camera being that focal point for that augmented reality and how to see things, the possibilities in the next 5 years, the whole digital marketing range going to be completely different.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that got me to Snapchat was the fact that I was looking at the technology and going, holy crap, they're throwing particles and they're tracking faces and doing more solid in real time, and I'm like, it's ridiculous.
Insane.
So we've got some questions coming in. I'm gonna list them out. So if you're watching this at your boring ass job right now,
Sorry.
we work our ass off. So don't
do.
think this is a Friday. This is a normal thing. This is for the 2-year celebration. But I've got some friends. What's your favorite potato salad?
Spanish.
Spanish?
Yeah, Hector, my business partner, his mom makes a fantastic potato salad. It's got like green olives and it's got the boiled egg in it, and it's like this bomb potato salad.
Are we talking about Hector's mom or
Hector's
salad?
mom.
Yeah.
Hector's mom's potato salad.
Yeah.
I want to be very clear about that.
I like Publix.
Publix?
Yeah, they got a good range there.
Okay. It's a trick question for me because it's got mayonnaise in it, right?
You don't like mayonnaise, do you?
I fucking hate mayonnaise. So, sorry. No, I hate to be the
no
negator.
salad things then. No macaroni salad. No.
I fucking hate mayonnaise.
God,
here's the thing. You used to eat mayonnaise every day.
Mayonnaise sandwiches, mayonnaise on
bologna
fries.
sandwich.
I don't like bologna.
Bologna, hot bologna sandwich.
Ew.
Because it's sat in a paper
Ew.
bag.
All day.
And then it's Florida sun.
So it wasn't the mayonnaise, it was the toxic.
And one, you ever flip like that on a condiment or something, or some kind of food where you just ate it your whole life, and then you're like, nope, I'm done, I'm out, I can't do it anymore. Nothing.
No, I know some alcohol that I've done that with.
Yes.
Okay,
Tequila.
same thing, but like you're 10.
Yeah.
And I was like, PBJ's forever. That's all I'm doing. The other question, good kind of question in our zone from my old friend, Lori Roggenkamp. Very funny comedian, buddy of mine. Do hashtags really help reach a wider audience? Now, I'm going to say per platform, it depends. So I'll let you kind of, Sam, I'll let you kind of explain a little bit better, and I'll fill in anything else.
So hashtags are a good way to expose yourself to a new audience, and on every platform, but every platform has its own etiquette with hashtags. Like Facebook, for example, like it's going to be more like hashtag, like an event that's happening, hashtag the area that you're in. Don't sit there and list out a million hashtags because then you look messy. On Instagram, you can put, I believe, up to 15 hashtags in, but you don't really want to do more than 7. And then also there's certain ways that you can put your hashtags in there so it's not right in that person's face when they're looking at your post.
Mm-hmm.
But Instagram, probably the best way to be discoverable is geotagging your location and putting in hashtags.
So a good strategy I've heard Instagram-wise is there any theory to doing the post and then doing the first comment?
So that's
afterward?
what I do.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I do.
I mean, it's no secret. I'm not giving
No,
all
I
the
know.
secrets
No,
out,
I know.
But there's another one I read, because sometimes I'll just go on Reddit to kind of, a lot of people give out good information on there as far as like strategies, because it changes all the time, so you got to keep up with this stuff. I saw a guy that said his strategy was to find, basically, hold on, let me back up first. Let's explain what a hashtag is. So hashtag used to be a programming thing, right? When you're programming a lot of code, you would put a hashtag keyword. So you could just do control find, you could find where your spot was. If you're working in Sublime Text, what? Yeah, I'm a fucking nerd. I'm in it.
I see that.
So it's programming language. That's what
Shadow banning, that's what we need to talk about.
Okay. A lot of people don't know that it comes from that.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is, why I tell that story is because it's important to realize, like, people hashtag, they don't realize it's for other people to find it.
Yes.
To use those
Like-minded
keywords.
people.
Right.
Yep.
So if you're hashtagging as a punchline to something, like, you can do that. You can write a joke and write hashtag this. But the more specific it gets, the less it's going to be looked up.
Right.
Or if it's something like, we have Hyde Park in Tampa, but there's a Hyde Park in London.
England,
right.
yes.
And so that Hyde Park is the real Hyde Park. So when you're hashtagging Hyde Park, you're just mixing in, you're just you're just funneling into that.
It's a stream of photos that have something in common coming from all different users.
Interesting. And before you move on, I just want to ask a quick question because
Of course.
I understand the hashtag.
Yeah.
When we started doing hashtagging, I started actually adding my hashtags in my comments.
Yeah,
like
that's
in my
what-
sentence. Not
Right.
I'm sorry, not in my comments. Because first of all, I thought it was. I remember like one of those. I forgot what sitcom I was watching where they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like my own thing or I'm going to comment on my own thing, and it used to be considered like corny and lame. So now you're saying it's actually not corny and lame to like and comment on your own stuff and put more hashtags in it?
Because on Instagram it won't
It'll
show.
hide it.
Yeah, it won't show.
It'll hide so that when, I mean, like if somebody goes to comment on your stuff, like if they hit comment, they're gonna see it. But it's a cleaner look for when your friends are like browsing, or the people that are following you are browsing their news feed, so they don't just see a giant stack of, like it's
Hashtags.
easier on the eyes.
See, and I typically try to, and here I am, maybe I'm spending way too much time, because I'm trying to cleverly write my hashtags in. There's like, hey, was here on a hashtag production.
People do that
You know what I
too.
mean?
Yeah,
It's
but
the most general thing.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm trying to incorporate
I
it in
know.
there. 'Cause
People
I'm
like to do
that
it
way,
like
that way
that
you can just
too, but-
read it through and be like,
So
alright, cool.
for the commercial shoot you just did, I
Yeah.
put like digital ads, I'd put product ads, I heard the strategy from one of the ones I read online that kind of stuck with me is find these hashtags that are 100,000, about 100,000-ish.
yeah, so there's a certain threshold that you try to keep within, because like if you're with a hashtag that has like 9 million posts, like yeah, you're gonna be exposed to a lot of people, but is it gonna be actually good people in that realm that you really want to be communicating with?
You're
Or
looking for the biggest post.
No.
Like I'll do hashtag
You're gonna
production, and
see-
then I'm
you
looking
want
to
to
see
go between,
if
I
it's
think
like
it's
100
like,
people. I'm like, nah.
So
I found personal success within going from 75,000 like tags of it upwards to like 400, 500,000. Once you start getting over that and getting toward the million point,
So should I put hashtag Star Wars because that would just never be seen ever.
I
again.
mean,
no.
you could still do it, but I'm saying be strategic about how many of those you're doing. You know, you want to mix it up with certain things that are trending in your industry versus just common knowledge about that industry.
Plus, there's a limit of how many you can add
15.
before it fades out. So you have diminishing returns after that, or you just look dumb, or you're just wasting time. So I do. So with the lessons learned series we're doing on our Instagram, the Toco Works at Toco Works TOCOWORKS on Instagram. Lessons learned was our like little hashtag for that series. I didn't care about that. It was more of a punctuation of the sentence, but the first comment down, I tried to do Tampa Bay, Ybor City, Tampa Heights, Seminole Heights. I tried to do location-based ones. And then for the ones that were applicable for areas like where people are looking for these kind of things, business coach, business coaching, life coach, that kind of stuff. If it was applicable for that area, I put that in there. If it was web dev, I put web dev, HTML, CSS,
Gotcha, I guess.
JavaScript, that kind of stuff. Because those kind of developers, they're looking there, and I found a bigger return on our push for a lot of that stuff.
All right, cool.
So, but what is interesting, like
You got to be consistent though.
back in March, so like hashtags are great. Like it's a great way to do stuff, but I would not solely, like Instagram themselves don't want you to solely rely on that to
Oh.
get returns. So they started doing something called shadow banning. So you can be sitting there on your phone and saying, hashtag this, hashtag that. You hit the hashtag to check to see if it's really in the stream, and it is on your phone. But if you go to somebody else's phone who does not follow you and has never followed you before, and they search that hashtag, your picture won't show up because they're shadow banning certain accounts.
Interesting. Shadow
Whoa.
banning.
Oh, like banning, as in like you do not show up. You are banned from this.
From that
stream.
hashtag stream. And the way that Instagram responded is that it was basically like a glitch in their system, but it's really, they don't want people to be sitting there because they know about the automation third-party systems that are out there that rely on hashtags to automate comments, automate followers, automate, these sorts of things, which they're always trying to beat out because they want it to be an authentic, like good, clean platform, and they want to be transparent. They don't want all that fakeness there. So by shadow banning, they're
So how
cleaning it up a little bit.
how do I get shadow banned? Not that I want to, but how
It,
do I
sou-
get shadow
it sounds like
It's a
Batman
random. It
Begins.
Yeah,
honestly, it's
The League of Shadows.
I don't have a set. This is how you get shadow banned answer for you. It's they're at their office
If I
looking
hashtag
through
boobies
things.
myself all the time, and I absolutely have none,
Well, it doesn't have to do with the.
I'm just wondering, like,
It doesn't have to do with décolleté.
Well, I'm just wondering if it's something like obviously this has nothing to do. His posts and his stuff have nothing to do with boobies. So why is he hashtagging it? He is now banned from. I mean,
they have their own reasons. I mean, I'm sure that's part of it. I'm sure that's a part of it. But basically Instagram's response to it was, don't worry about hashtags. Just be authentic to storytelling and creating good content.
So that's the moral of all content is create good original content
And
that
you
you
will
give
be
a shit
found.
about.
Mhm.
When you try to game systems, you can do it, but it's short term.
Yep.
And that's a big thing with like, we all talk to clients about that. It's like, oh, I need to get this amount of followers. But it's like, I can get you all
Why
that.
do you need to get that?
I can get you all those followers,
Tell me
but
why.
you're not cultivating brand
Culture.
loyalty.
Yep.
Yeah. So what's the point? What's the point of, I can get you those numbers, but those metrics don't mean anything unless you're really cultivating a crowd that gives a shit. I can get you all the Chinese followers you want.
Well, and this is what kills me is that I want to know who went out there and said your business is deemed successful based off of the amount of likes that you have on your page. Like you said,
It was
have.
because it used to be the metric.
Right, and now
Comedian-
there's so many bigger and better tools that show that.
All comedians
you know.
do. They rank how many Twitter followers you have, and I'm like, Twitter might be dying. I don't know.
Oh, Twitter! Oh, I hate using Twitter right now.
It might be
I don't
dying.
understand. I have some clients that really want to push Twitter. I'm like,
They don't get it.
it's good for realtors. I will tell you this: development organizations.
You better
Twitter
post.
is great because there's a lot of realtors there, but Instagram's starting to take over that.
You better post about 9 times a day to be relevant.
Oh my
If you
God.
want to follow the best Twitter account, is my buddy Matt Fernandez. His Twitter account is Fat Hernandez, so just replace the M and the F in his name. He writes about 7 to 10 jokes a day because he treats it like, okay, this is the thing I'm going to focus on. I'm a joke writer. This makes sense. I'm going to just focus on that. And that has been, it's been a great push for him to show what he could do. He's been on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He's been on Ellen with his tweets because they're so good.
Right.
I think my favorite was Jimmy Kimmel Live when Michael Strahan was on. And he said his teeth look like an 8th grade dance where kids are hanging on either side of the walls.
Oh my God.
And so I probably butchered that a billion times, but 7 to 10 times a day, he treats that.
Oh yeah,
like
no. And
he's
you
in a
have to
writer's
do
room.
certain like retweets, like.
That's tough for a lot of people.
I try doing the Twitter thing, and unfortunately, I don't mind it when I'm watching a show and I'm following along. I'll tweet then. But
Yeah.
otherwise, in the bathroom, doing this. Oh my God, think of this. I don't have that many thoughts to share in a day.
The fact that our president's tweeting is really bothering me.
To me, I only care about any of these platforms for advertising because the advertising on Twitter is not great because a third of the accounts are fake or robots. So to me, that's not good data. LinkedIn, on the other hand, where people go, ugh, I don't like that. To me, the data on that is so much more reliable and relevant.
Yeah.
This is where people get really confused on like social media and advertising, right? Because you go, who's taking a statistics class? No one? Okay.
I have.
Well, a lot of people
I didn't
have.
do very good.
But you know, even in the basics, it's about relevant data. It's about reliable data.
Yep.
And there's like 4 other kind of attributes to data. But you look at all the data and you go, okay, LinkedIn used to be a joke, but now it's really good because
LinkedIn's amazing.
LinkedIn's amazing. I just did a hiring campaign for a buddy.
I know. I remember we were talking about that last
Dude,
week and stuff.
crushes.
Were you doing good with
So
it?
think about this. Instead of Damian doesn't know about this. So instead of
They keep me in the dark a lot of things.
Sorry.
it's not a race thing.
Not
So instead of doing a job posting on ZipRecruiter, that's a good tool to like, hey, we're looking for the best candidate. We want to post on everything. That's tough for small, medium businesses, right? Because you don't have the time to really dedicate to filter all that stuff out. It's good if you're enterprise car rental, because you're just going to have to fill so many slots. Doesn't matter in so many cities, so that's fine. But ZipRecruiter's fine for that. LinkedIn hiring is great because you go, I'm looking for these kind of people, this kind of experience, and then it basically procures the right people that they think are looking for work to hop around, and you can hit them up and go, hey, I think you should apply for this job, which would be good for y'all.
Yeah.
Because y'all's skill set is so specific. Like,
Yeah,
you're going to need 3D modelers. You're going to need people that have artistic
And
background.
even in the 3D room, you have the modeler, you have the animator, you have the texture artist. Like just getting the one image, you could break that up into like 5 or 10 jobs.
Same here. I mean,
So-
online ads, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Social media, if you're doing it right, there's 8 steps. online advertising, there's 13. Because a lot of it's reporting and looking at that reporting on both sides. But it's kind of that thing of like, I want someone who's a badass at reporting and can look at the stats quantitatively and qualitatively. How do I find that person? All right, I definitely need someone who's good at Excel or Access or just some kind of tool that they can pull. They can aggregate a lot of stuff to a dashboard and explain it to me, right?
Right.
So I thought it was fucking awesome because I could go. My buddy's looking for a disability claims specialist for an insurance.
That's very specific.
Very specific, but we got to think around that, right? So this is why we're good, because you kind of use your brain and go, all right, can I pull from other insurance agencies?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah. And I was like, great, that's where I'm going to start. And then too much experience, I don't want that. They're never going to, they apply, they're never going to take the job, right? Because there's a sweet spot.
Right.
I want someone with a little bit of experience, not too much, in the Atlanta area that's pretty close to the office. We only spent like $100 and had 32 really good candidates.
Wow.
Think about that.
32 very well qualified candidates to look at and not wasting your time on.
Right, and I could, this is against, not for him, but if he was doing it, it'd be against, I think it would be against probably some employment laws, but the information's voluntarily provided, so it's not breaking any laws. So I could look at it, look at what they've been posting and go, I don't think they're the right person. Because if someone looked at my stuff, they'd be like, this guy writes too many jokes on his stuff,
Right.
which is good and bad. So I'm getting like an employee recruiting boner for this, but I've talked to y'all. I'm gonna sing it from the heavens. I mean, a bad hire is negative 300 return on investment, negative 300%.
That's
Think about it. You've hired people and you're like, fuck, this guy. This person
I feel
sucks.
like this
we've
is
done
not
that.
the right person.
Yeah, we've been there. That's tough.
You guys hire people all the time.
I
Human
was just gonna
capital
say, you
is
guys-
like the hardest
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, we do. We hire people. And not just on a long term basis. We do it on short term basis. I mean, we put crews together for productions all the time.
Yeah.
And a crew is exactly that. Sometimes it's a bunch of people that you work together with, but most oftentimes there's at least there's a percentage. It could be 10%. I mean, out of a crew of, even if it's out of a crew of 10 and it's one guy who's new, you've never worked with them before, but if they're in a key position because of whatever reason, your go-to guy was already booked, eek. You're relying on this person to do something. So there is a lot of that.
For y'all, it's like,
it's like
you gotta get these skeleton crews, man.
yeah, and you got to get skeleton crews, and they've got to be able, everyone's got to be able to pull their weight. Sometimes if they have to pull a double. Because what ends up happening if one person on the crew isn't qualified, then you've got someone else who has to now wear two hats, and that slows down everything. Costs money, costs frustration, costs all kind of things. So yeah, getting the qualified people is we go through that quite a bit. It's horror
I
stories.
give you so much
Horror
credit.
stories.
I give you so much credit.
Because you're kind of like us in the sense it's like, all right, who's the best people on the job? You have to flip around and be an operations manager and go, who's the best people on the job? You have to moneyball it. It's all. I'm obsessed with quality cost delivery. Quality cost delivery. It all comes down to that for every project and for everybody you hire within.
Yep.
So if I have a car dealership that wants to hire us, right, and then I go over to Sam and I go, hey, here's what we could do in this retainer for this. Are you down? Can you handle that? Now, I've already hired her, so I know that it works. I've already subcontracted her company, Social Alchemy, so I know the ins and outs. But if it's a brand new person, I've got to start all over.
You gotta vet them.
Yeah.
So
You gotta see what their process is, see if it's
And make sure
actually
you
gonna
can trust them on
align.
this particular
Well,
job.
exactly.
and
Can you
yours
trust
has
them with
way,
that client?
Yours video has so much, there's so many more variables.
Give you so much credit.
Thank you. Luckily, I don't have to take all the credit.
I know, but you know what I mean. You have good partners.
Hey, those guys did a great job. I look good doing it.
I look good doing it.
I'm stealing your. Can I steal this? Where are you at?
Life source. No, you can take
Your
it.
power.
Okay. You guild.
Well, I'm trying to timestamp this as we're going.
I know. I was noticing. I like
He's being
it.
efficient. Look at that. You're
Uh-huh.
hired.
You're hired.
So, well, it looks like I'm. If you watch on video, it looks like I'm looking down and messing around. But I'm trying to type out some stuff. If anybody has questions and they want to ask them, go ahead. I think we'll keep this train rolling for a little bit. I might talk about myself until y'all just. You're gonna have to go. I gotta get out of here.
Oh no.
Oh well.
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually...
I had a very productive morning, so you know.
Yeah, well, not me. I actually... Well, that's not that I didn't have a productive morning. I had a lot of other things that I had to take care of. For me, it's like there's a split production thing of here's administrative stuff that has to get taken care of.
Right.
And then here's production stuff that has to get taken care of. And I got some good administrative stuff, but I'm still got to get on some production stuff.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'm going to be here on the weekend. Sometimes it's better to do that when the phone's not
I was
ringing.
just going to say, more than half the time, I work into the night because you have to deal with the day-to-day interaction with clients and everybody, and that takes away from, you know, some of that admin stuff.
Yeah.
Or that just, like, sit down
Or
and
you end
crank
up
out
doing the admin in the
research.
middle of the night, and that's really not the best time for me to be doing numbers.
No.
See, I'm a night owl, so numbers at night, yes.
Nah, numbers for me gotta be fresh in the morning with a cup of coffee and some Enya in my ear or something. I mean,
Some
like,
Enya.
oh yeah, I Enya
Oh,
out.
I Enya out.
I Enya
Timestamp
out.
Enya out.
Timestamp Enya.
I'm just saying.
Do you know what's so funny about, I just have, like, this memory when I was little in Pennsylvania, and my dad playing Enya, and I'm, like, in the hall upstairs, and we had this weird, like, balcony thing that opened up into, like, our, like, it was weird. But basically, I'm dancing on the balcony,
Yeah. I'll tell you what, hey, you're not the only person. I was probably in the other hallway doing the exact same thing, just, you know, vibing out to my own version of Enya. So it's just what happens when you hear Enya, you know?
Enya, I just picture you as a little boy, just like, just
Dude.
hanging out.
In my Batman costume.
I was gonna say, I picture you in, like, some fun, like onesie pajama
Oh
outfit.
yeah, I was out in my
charactered
Batman
out.
or my Superman pajamas and rocking the Enya. And then, you know, we flip it up and then it'd be salsa right afterwards. You know?
So what'd y'all go over last night at the Rap Party podcast live show? What are we calling it?
Yeah, what is it called?
Is
What
it
do
a
I tell
podcast?
people?
Is it a live show?
It's a live podcast.
Is it a web series?
I think it's a web
These
series.
terms are all like,
Yeah, they're starting to blend together. I think a web series, if I was going to say something that's a web series, I would say that that's something that's scripted. If you're going to call it a web series,
Sure, like a
it's
TV
scripted.
show almost.
Yeah, if you're going to call it a show, it's something that may have
Like a
some,
talk show.
it may have some points, but it's not really scripted, and you kind of just go through it, and you try to have a point
Hit
of
your
viewing.
bullet point.
And then a podcast is a podcast, only this time it's got cameras going. So we do edit it afterwards to get, you know, I mean, a little
To the
bit more
point of
production.
everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
but, you know, for the live audience, it is basically just a podcast. I mean, that's
Okay.
what it is.
Cool.
It's a podcast that's on camera. Last night, actually, we got to talk about some very interesting things. Our sister company, Digital Caviar,
Woo.
who's right,
right here.
through
Right.
the wall over
Hey
there.
guys.
Yeah.
They were,
Looking at your boomer.
oh, thank you. I got at least one view now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I got my one view. One view confirmed.
Continue though.
They were just down in Sarasota shooting because director Kevin Smith was here.
I've heard that name before.
Kevin Smith, he just overseen Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob,
Mallrats.
Mallrats,
The best.
Dogma. Yeah.
That's
Underrated.
crazy. That's why I know him. 'Cause
Chasing
the Dogma.
Amy?
Yeah.
So he was just down here in Sarasota shooting a film Kilroy, and now it seems like he loved what happened down there so much that he's going to come back in December. He's put it on his. I'm not saying anything that he hasn't already said on his Facebook Live. So our sister company was down there. They were running the productions. Mike Brown, who's one of our hosts on our show, was the unit production manager for the film. So
That's amazing.
yeah, I mean, I got to meet Kevin Smith, you know, and it's one of these situations where, and I've mentioned it before, you know, there's sometimes you meet celebrities, and Kevin Smith is one of those independent filmmakers that I look at and I admire, because he is uber nerd,
Yeah.
super comic book nerd, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And he has a great big personality, but there's always the chance that when you meet somebody who you see, that they might not be like that in person. He was totally
That's
cool.
amazing.
Absolutely
I love when
cool.
it lines up like that.
Oh man, it was like, and we geeked out. We talked Avatar. We heard him talking about and
a
it was
bonding session.
yeah. But he was very, he motivated the team. He got everything going. But it was also a great opportunity because we were down at the Ringling School.
I was just gonna say,
Sarasota.
could we talk about that? That's
yeah, we
amazing.
can
That
talk about that.
facility.
Yeah, they're
Ringling.
You were telling us about?
Ringling Circus is done, right?
Ringling
It's already
Circus.
bankrupt.
Ringling Circus is
It's still kind of around.
It's
the
Hate
closed.
to,
community,
hate to bring it down enough.
no. Ringling Circus is closed. There's a good chance that they may, come back and do kind of the Cirque du Soleil thing, where it's more performances and humans and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, I mean, I wouldn't count them out, but the Ringling College has been cranking out really good students in the arts for quite a while now. And by them expanding and having the soundstage down there, they're allowing professionals to actually put out professional productions out of their soundstage, and they've been incorporating their students, which are getting like real world. You know, I mean, now some of these students could say, "Hey, I worked on a Kevin Smith film."
Right.
What?
What
I mean,
if-
you're not even out of school, and you already got that credit.
Well,
in your
and
name.
then also what's great on the flip side is that organizations around Florida get to help educate the future
Right.
of that industry.
Right, and Florida struggles so much with its film industry because there's sometimes where, you know, the
Whoa.
tax breaks are there, the tax breaks
Hey,
aren't there.
We had Dolphin Tale 1 and 2.
Oh God.
Pain and Gain. The
And
Punisher.
Punisher, yeah.
We didn't get the Ben Affleck one here.
They rebuilt
in
Ybor. They rebuilt
Ybor.
Ybor someplace else. So you got to 4. You haven't quite hit 5 yet.
Oh, but wait, Ocean's-
Fast and Furious.
Ocean's
1.
In St. Pete.
Ocean's
12,
Ocean's
Ocean's 11 at the dog
Ocean's
track.
11 had one scene.
At the dog track.
One scene.
Yeah.
But it was amazing.
One scene.
Come on now.
Was it? It could
One
have been
scene.
anywhere.
I know.
It could have been Hollywood Park.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
It was genuinely here, but it was one scene. My point being is that Florida, for all of its talent and for all the things that it
Right.
has,
Pitbull.
yeah, we keep losing. For example, we used to have a show that was in Miami, Dexter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
all the exteriors were shot in Miami, but all the interiors were shot in L.A.
Near where I used to live, in Marina
Yeah,
Del Rey.
Bird Notice was
Mhm.
was all shot in Miami, but then they moved its stuff over because of again tax breaks, stuff like that. Georgia and
Really?
Atlanta have
But-
been yeah.
I know
California
that,
is also
like,
eating
Georgia.
itself on that too, because like Breaking Bad's supposed to be in Riverside, and it's in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And then all these people are just going, we're gonna go shoot in Vegas, or we're gonna go shoot in New Mexico
Yeah.
or Canada,
Right,
and it's like,
Oh,
but it's a hopping
God.
around, right? Whoever's given the breaks at the moment.
right. So one of the things that we're trying to do is ourselves, Digital Caviar, Tony from the St. Pete Film Commissioner, and people down in Ringling. We're trying to not only just educate that next generation of filmmakers, but give incentives for filmmakers to come down here and show
Like
show the
yeah.
fact that we can do this. You don't have to fly in a crew from LA or New York. We can do this. We've got the talent. We've got the equipment. We've got
Yeah.
every facilities.
Well, and it sounds like with this new facility, it's really
Yeah,
stepped up like
we're gonna
what
do
we have
everything
available.
we can. Yeah, we're gonna do everything we can to improve upon and grow not just the community but the facilities and do
Yeah.
what we can in our part in doing that. And so our show last night was primarily just talking to Mike about his experiences because it's just fun times to be able to sit there and say, look, our people, we
What
got to
happened?
work on
Yeah.
this, and you get without giving anything away, you get to talk about some of the again. What are the ups and downs of that particular thing? I mean,
Right.
he had these condor things that only move at 4 miles an hour. They're huge. Had to cross a highway because they parked them across the highway.
Oh
So
my
it's,
God.
you get
Condor?
to hear,
Yeah,
it's a
wait.
condor lift. It's basically a big, huge crane that lifts people up way up in the air so that you can put lights way up in the air outside. And that's how they put the sun out or the moons out in the middle of the night. They bring their own moon. They had
Oh.
Really?
My
12
mind is just went.
At night there was like
I'm not
either a
even high.
12 or 14K, which is like 14,000 watt light that they raised 30 feet up in the air to give simulated moonlight from the direction they wanted it to. That's how they do it.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, so there's been
So
entire scenes.
how big of a production is this? Do you think?
There were 60 people on the crew.
So what does that mean?
Is that
Like,
a lot?
That's
Is
that's
that a
a
little?
small army.
Is
That's
that a small army?
That's
Okay.
a small army. That means that you have, 60 people. That's the actors. If you think about it, there's only like the director, the producer, and like maybe 3 or 4
Cast,
actors.
Yeah.
Right? It's a small film with 3 or 4 actors. So the other 57 or 50 people
Yeah, they're
were
like
working
straight
to get
support.
things going.
Yeah.
They're putting down tracks and
Yeah.
doing wardrobes and cleaning and
Oh,
moving
I
things
wanna
and
be in
setting up cameras
production.
and
It sounds
just.
so cool.
I mean, yeah, you guys got to come down to one of these production
I
lines.
wanna
You have a
go.
great time.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Kevin Smith, one of my favorite directors? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, you wanna
have.
come-
I was sick of
pop
shit
in,
all
say
week.
what's up, yeah.
I would have made it down there. Yeah. I was wondering if was he wearing a hockey jersey in
He was
90
wearing
What
Buddy
was
Christ.
in 90-degree weather?
Oh yeah, he was wearing layers. He was still wearing his layers. He
Jesus.
is in uniform. That is
Yeah.
his uniform. And he was down there.
He's
First day I saw him,
here.
Buddy Christ, his 3 layers. And if you follow him on Facebook, you can see his Facebook Live when he was down there. You see all of our people in the background. But he's like, yo, and he actually went from Sarasota and they did shoot some things in St. Pete. He's like, St. Pete, beautiful, looks fantastic out here. I'm still wearing 4 layers,
Oh,
dying of heat. I'm looking at him like, poor Kev, you need.
No,
you
he
need
did it to himself.
well,
just go Larry the Cable Guy.
Wait. Another movie
What?
that was shot in Florida.
Oh, Spring Breakers.
Yeah, because he said same feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is like the worst
We-
movie
we
ever.
it's so bad.
So bad, but that's
we
not
got
my
your
grade.
5. There is a handful officially.
I like kids. That movie is
And I know someone's going to say a comment about more than a handful. No, we want more than a handful of
Cocoon.
films.
Okay. Cocoon from 1983.
Cocoon?
Yeah.
Okay, so once every 5 years.
Brian
or 5 or
Dennehy
7
guys.
years.
Okay. No.
Once every 5 or 10 years, we get a film down here, and that's there's more stuff actually coming out of Florida. A lot of stuff that comes out of Florida that aren't on the film Hollywood side, but
Well, we've talked about it.
We're getting
The internet kind of it's going to lower that the barrier to entry. It's going to lower that. You needed a crew to do that. A lot of it was information. A lot of it was technology. The technology is getting so good. You can shoot a lot of stuff. I mean, with no budget, and still make it look good as long as the content's good.
yeah, that's one of the things that we advocate, especially on our show. We're trying to get young filmmakers to the biggest thing that Steven Spielberg, J.J. Abrams, almost any director, Quentin Tarantino, all of them have all said, Robert Rodriguez, is first thing you got to do is say, cool, pick up the camera, get your friends involved in front of it,
Just like
shoot
this.
it.
Just like
you just got to do it, and it brings back full
like a
circle to
year
what we're
from now,
talking
this
about.
podcast will look a lot better.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
So I mean that's Robert Rodriguez has what he calls 10-minute film school, and when his first 10-minute film school speech that he talks about, he's like, so you want to be a movie director? All right, cool. Go get some business cards, put your name on it, say movie director. Now you're a movie director.
Now you're there.
Now you got to write a script
What I wanna
and go
be.
do your thing. You know what I mean? You got to shoot it. And ultimately, that's one of the main things as far as what we talked about at the beginning is that there's a lot of people out there that want to get involved in different things, creative things and whatnot. But to get into the movie industry, it's the easiest thing. Pick up your phone, get your friends to do something in front of it, make it interesting, shoot it,
Yeah.
move on. And the biggest, what was it? Your uncle, your late uncle,
Yeah.
gave the best advice for camera operation.
I don't even remember
What was it? What was it?
I found it when I was driving back from a funeral in Dallas. He just passed away. He's 70 years old. That's his movie right there, is Positive ID. That's the one that made it big. Andy Anderson. And so he I forget, it was just basics.
It's basics. It was, you know,
This
turn
is
the
so sad I
camera
can't
on,
remember it.
hold it. No, it's basic. I can summarize because it's like 5 steps. Turn the camera on, pick your shot, hold it steady for 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Only 5 seconds?
Before you move, before you do anything.
Oh, okay.
Hold it steady for 5 seconds. Make sure it's in focus, and then when you're done with the camera movement, hold it steady for another 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's it, pretty
And then
much.
you're
It was
done.
like-
Let them do what they need to do.
yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't complicated, and really people overcomplicate certain things.
So I could be a movie director?
You could totally be a movie director. I mean, you're a movie director now. As many little clips as you got now, you practically shot the
Well, it's
entire
because
film.
you guys are so much fun and I need to
If
document
you take all
everything
those
that
seconds
we do.
together, that becomes a feature. I'm sure you have enough 10-second Snapchats that you could put together
How
90
funny would
minutes
that
easily.
be as like a cool project? Like just like
We're getting there. I mean, there's got to be someone.
You just
doing
put it out there in the
something like
universe.
Yeah.
Someone right now out there will say, you know what, I'm going to do 90 minutes of Snapchat.
that. We've got
Put
more
them all
people
together.
joining as we're doing this. The longer we go, the more people are joining. This is kind of interesting. Yeah, because we're messing with Facebook Live right now. Essentially, I mean, the Mevo is the director.
yeah, true.
Right
Because
now.
it like doesn't that just detect whenever like somebody's making movement and then I'm trying to make movement, and then
It's a
it'll
delay,
like
it's a
zoom
delay, it's a
in.
delay.
Yeah, I know it's a little delay.
There's a 5
I
second
know.
delay.
But isn't that the concept behind it? Is that it's supposed to provide you with different shots based off of movement?
Yeah,
or can you talk about that a little bit more?
It's the Snapchat of movie directing, whereby it's now detecting faces because it has
Right.
face detection technology in it. It does pick up some directional sound. It actually does start to kind of listen. Okay, this sound's coming from the left.
Oh,
Sounds
I
coming
didn't
from
realize
left.
that.
It does have a
I
little
thought it was just
directional
motion
sound.
detection.
And it is
Okay.
motion detection on top of
Okay.
that. So I did notice that even if I don't move and I just speak,
It'll
it starts
come.
to notice that, okay, mouths are moving, sounds coming from this side. So it does kind of do
Aw.
something like that. Yeah,
They're
they're
not-
like
they're
$600
not that-
bucks. Yeah.
Was
How
it
much
6
is it?
or 4?
Well,
6, right?
It's like 4 for the camera, the boosters, another 2, so 6 altogether. But you could just do it.
I convinced them to get it, and they're like, "We don't need this." Right
I
now."
remember because you were like, well, I got a new toy.
Yeah,
It all evened out.
I know,
We had
yeah.
some Facebook.
I know,
ad
I was
money
gonna say, I
and stuff
remember.
going,
I
but-
Yeah, it works out great. But the idea behind it is that before you would have to have, right now, to do what this thing is doing, you would have to have a switcher, 3 cameras, maybe 4, because you have to have 1 for the wide and 1 for each of us.
All right, I'm gonna Snapchat what
So,
it looks like. So
4
continue.
cameras,
Yeah.
a switcher, some
Three-
guy behind there switching.
For you, it's really great because you could do live stream stuff as far as like You don't need an editor as much, and it's, you know, the phone is great. You still need your phone while you're doing other stuff too. So this is great. Plus, we don't have to live stream it. It can go to Periscope. It can go to Facebook, but you can also just record it.
And then just do whatever you want with it afterwards.
So for like musicians, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of what it was made for, maybe.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they promote the marketing. Yeah, it has a lot to do with musicians. So.
Well, more about Kevin Smith. I mean, we're talking. I was a huge Kevin Smith nerd. I've seen Mallrats 30 times. Hartford, The Whale. Yeah. I know, like, even I don't even like Star Wars, and I get the Star Wars references in there.
Yeah.
Any other tidbits any gossip you can tell me about hanging out with him?
Everything.
Yeah.
Tell you everything. Well, you know, I mean, I was only there for a day, so full disclosure, I was there for a day. I mean,
sure.
When you get Mike on here, you could probably ask him about more things.
Tell him to come over here.
Yeah.
You wait, text him.
All right.
Whoever pees first has to do.
I really have to pee.
All right.
Okay.
Go knock
on there, and then Mike can talk about maybe some garbanzos.
Yeah, I'll keep this as a filibuster
talk about
podcast.
The garbanzo beans.
We'll get there.
But you know, here's the thing that right now they're using things like Kevin was using things like drones.
Yeah.
We got drone pilots. I mean, Digital Cavalry over there had their drones, which when you had to do a helicopter shot back in the day, imagine that. You had to get a helicopter pilot, FDA sky clearance, huge gyro, cameras, and it would cost you thousands of dollars to just get
True Lies.
Yeah.
Another Florida film.
You're right, yeah.
Yes,
You're
used to be my favorite movie.
Yeah, that was actually a great movie. I love True Lies.
Very underrated.
Yeah, it is.
It's funny, and it's a good action.
First of all, Jamie Lee Curtis.
I know, everyone dogs her.
Yeah, but she was. Hey, she. I love the fact that she allowed herself to age the way she did. She's like, fuck it, I'm going gray.
Wait, you say that like she had a choice. Like,
well, no, because some actresses.
It was all
they'll dye their hair. They'll do everything they can and all the lifts and stuff like that to keep themselves looking relevantly young. And Jamie was like, no, that's not. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
You know, like I do.
But she still looked hot, no matter how. I mean, she's like Jamie was like she was that nerdy hot, which is always so sexy.
I do this in sports all the time, where a guy's a first round draft pick, or he's a third round and he had one good season, and you're like, nah, he's still good. He's still good. I had that with Tom Arnold for like a decade.
Yeah.
After that movie, I was like, no, he fucking had the goods in that movie.
Yeah.
And then like he just never got back to that.
I'm not staying in the van anymore.
Yeah.
you
got to stay in the van. Yeah. He had so many good lines in that movie where he's trying to run and he gets behind the telephone pole and he's like, and then keeps running.
Next door?
Yeah, I think he's in a meeting though.
Oh,
But
okay.
he said he will be here soon and that they were watching us.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Digital Caviar again.
I think because I knocked on their door, the
wall.
Sure
Yeah.
wall.
If you're that neighbor who's like banging on the wall.
That is pretty baller if you're in a meeting over there and then you're like, oh yeah, well they're doing a live broadcast basically next door and they're talking about us.
And I'll be like, if you want to come over and hang out,
Yeah.
you want to come over and tell us?
Did you say it with a wilted lid? Like,
No. Well, I don't know Mike, so I knocked on the door and I was like,
he looks like Tim Tebow.
yeah, no,
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's man candy. It's okay.
It's man candy.
It's all good.
I was like, which one of you is Mike?
There's some good man candy over there.
He's in the garbanzo beans.
That was him?
That's
That was the profile? Okay.
You did.
He looks different on camera than in person.
Wait, did you speak to Conrad or Michael?
I
or
said
Todd?
Mike.
Okay. Yeah.
But who is
There's
Mike?
3 of them over there.
Yes.
All right.
So.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk about the garbanzo beans yet?
No. I mean, we kind of opened this podcast with it, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
I know it's luckily, hopefully, it's sticking in your head, so that's a
I
good
know.
thing.
Well,
It's got sticking power. Look, I like
sticky stick.
I like weird comedy. That's why I kind of probably liked Kevin Smith growing up because I didn't get a lot.
Did you watch Kevin Smith's his podcast that he has? His Fat Man on Batman?
You know, I love watching the specials where he's answering questions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it gets a little bit too, let's call it technical in the comic book world.
Right.
That's what I'm at. I'm like, I'm a good 4 out of 10 on the comic book stuff.
Understood.
I know a good amount. I know more than I probably look like I know. I'm going to give you a lot more shit
Right.
that I would have.
No, that's not
Like,
good.
you guys really get into, like, man, is Venom going to be in the next movie? Oh my god. Like, I don't care about that stuff, but y'all have a different kind of angle than most of the comedian nerds I hang out with that are like, just want to bitch about, it's just like sports.
Right.
You want to say who's better, LeBron and Michael Jordan. It's the same shit.
So,
to me.
Mallrats is your favorite Kevin Smith movie?
By far, yeah.
Yeah?
Because I watched it so much. Not because it's a better movie.
I'm caught between Jay and Silent Bob, and some people don't like it, but I loved Dogma.
I like Dogma. That's the only one that I've seen.
Yeah, well, that's the only
It's a
one you
really
need to see.
strange movie, but I watched that in college in like a film class.
Yeah, the whole shit monster, man. That's so awesome.
That's the part you like the most?
No. So there's Selma Hayek dancing, and there's Black
George Carlin, man.
The Black Apostle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's pretty good.
Alanis Morissette, spoiler alert, God. You know what I mean? And of course there's Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Alan Rickman.
Yes.
Alan Rickman.
He was great.
The whole cast.
The whole world of that, I loved. Like the whole just scenario of just like all the angels wear hoodie sweaters under jackets. Just those little touches that you get like the third, fourth time you watch it. You're like, oh, I never noticed that. You know, those kind of things.
What's funny is that every time I hear Kevin Smith talk about it, they're like, yeah, man, I'm not a really great filmmaker, not like Zack Snyder or something like that. And I'm like, dude, you got some really huge cult classics that if you had to look at, like, you're looking at these spread of directors. I mean, yes, there's the Steven Spielbergs and these guys that always do these big budgets, but you're that on that. I put him on the same level as and people are going to hate me when I say this, I put him on that same level as the Quentin Tarantino's. And the reason why I say that, hold on. I know, hold on.
I'll have to timestamp that for sure.
Here's the reason why I say that. Quentin Tarantino's a fantastic writer and a fantastic filmmaker. But Quentin's following, in general, is very specific. I'd say very cult, very specific. There are some people that can't stand a Quentin film. I find that Kevin Smith has a very similar following. It's not a very broad following, but those people that get his films really get his films and can get into it even for the little nuances and things of that nature. Great filmmaker. He has fun with it. And here recently he's been doing stuff on Netflix, which I think is a little bit more, I don't think. He's got Yoga Hosers on Netflix, he's got Tusks on Netflix. There's direct to Netflix type films.
Smith.
Yeah.
Because I thought you were talking about Quentin.
No.
Kevin Smith. No, but I didn't know that he has
but what it is
Netflix.
that he's doing a lot of what and this is his words, not mine, he's getting a chance to do the experimental stuff because he kind of got, like, Clerks happened and then boom, he kind of like, whoa, that was the first film, and it kind of went up from there. So you never got a chance to really, play around.
True.
So he's like, I'm going to play around. I'm going to just do stuff that's just for me. No one else is going to really like it.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, that's why I draw the parallel. That
Because,
when Quentin writes a film,
sense.
he doesn't do it for everybody. He does it for Quentin and people that like Quentin films. He doesn't.
And he really loves dropping N-bombs.
Yeah.
That's like his favorite.
Yeah, well, that's, Samuel L. Jackson said it best. Quentin can't be racist because he normally writes me in as the smartest character in the room.
Sure.
Yeah, well, hey, look, I gotta go by what.
There's gotta be a count.
I haven't met
somewhere.
Quentin. I can sit down with Quentin, and I'm pretty certain that we would have a fantastic
From
conversation.
Tennessee, I think.
Hey,
so.
Quentin, if you ever want to come on our show, The Rap Party, you can find us on YouTube on Indie Raps and on Facebook under The Rap Party. We'll sit down, we'll talk, and we're not going to talk about whether or not you're racist. I don't care about that. I don't think you are. I just want to definitely pick his brain as far as the writing's concerned. Because he goes into his things. He writes these huge backstories before he even starts his films.
Do you believe all the movies are connected? Have you heard that conspiracy?
Ooh. I've heard that.
I like that.
It's
it makes
cool.
sense. You have to wedge a couple more movies in there to really make it work.
Yeah.
Well, think about
Which is probably why he did that, so now he can make more
What
movies.
was the last one? The Hateful Eight?
Hateful Eight.
So that one really kind of solidifies that kind of storyline. If you look at like a whole timeline of all the characters, now it's starting to make a little bit more sense.
It does actually, you're right.
A couple of years ago, it'd be like, you'd have to skip about 2-3 generations. To
right,
that
but now it's like coming through.
It's like when I looked at Interstellar timeline of like, oh dude, I'll cry if I watch that movie.
What dimension are we in?
Well, I
like Interstellar.
I don't understand quantum physics, and space scares me. So both those things, and like how does time work in a dimensional kind of way? I can't pay attention. I don't understand it.
This has secretly become another Rap Party episode. Just to let you guys know, this is what we talk about on the Rap
really?
Party.
This is cool.
What we do.
So,
I like it.
But have you seen the whole timeline thing? I think the Nerdist made one where it shows like the whole the one dude that gets stuck on the ship when they're on the one planet where it's 7 years isn't out.
What should I Google? Sorry to interrupt.
Infographic.
Interstellar timeline.
Yeah, Because it'll show like, okay,
or maybe Interstellar info.
because now McConaughey goes back. He goes back in time, or he stays in time, and then everything moves forward. When he at the end he's on Saturn, and he's normal, and he comes into his daughter, who's basically a great grandmother at that point.
Yeah.
Murph.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Murph.
Wow, there's some really, really, really in-depth graphics about this.
What's a Murph?
That's her name in the movie.
Oh, Merv. Murph. Is it Murph?
Murphy.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought it was like
Merv Griffin.
Merv
Entertainment.
Griffin. Yes, Merv. Yes. Sorry. I thought it was like. I'm
And
like, no,
we have
that'd
0
be,
viewers online.
that'd be a guilt.
This is when we lose everybody. So I mean, but that shit's still crazy to me. Like that it can. Christopher Nolan's the best by far. He's my favorite director, easily. I watched The Prestige the other night. Another like super underrated movie. Oh, so good.
Yes, it was.
The whole little like Tesla aspect.
The Tesla
All
aspect.
about it.
It's better that I actually read the book when I saw the preview of the movie in 06, and I was unemployed and just moved to LA. I was like, I got nothing to do. I might as well
Read.
a book.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
It's
It's a
entertaining.
$10 book. It'll spend a lot of
It'll
hours.
take a lot of time.
Oh God, that's so depressing. You're just like, I gotta fill my day. Once you're done with like 4 hours of trying to figure out like online resumes and shit,
Yeah,
you're just like, I gotta do something productive.
No, my dad, when I used to be like looking for work and stuff, he used to say to me, "You need to treat looking for work just like a full-time job. You should be looking
He's
for
right.
work 8 hours a day.
But
If
how-
you're not working 8 hours a day."
So let's
I
talk
can-
about that.
I
How
can
do you
do
do?
that.
How do you go about that? Like what? The most depressed I've ever been was when I was just unemployed and like had no.
Yeah,
Dude, you're talking to the wrong dude. Listen, I'm not gonna say that anybody should ever follow my lead when I was younger in the employment realm.
What did you do?
This is why I own my own
They
business.
started
is
when
because
they're like fetuses.
well, no, not so much. That's a different kind of Latino.
That's a different quinceanera.
Yeah, it is. So, but no, my thing was like on a day like today, I would be working, maybe even making $12 an hour, and I'd be like, my friends would come by and say, "Hey guys, hey, we're gonna go play basketball. You wanna come?" And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "What am I doing? I'm filling envelopes? Fuck yeah." Listen, I'm going to lunch. Be back, and just not
Never
show
come
up
back.
for a week.
Yeah.
So
What?
yeah, that was at $12 an hour, $15 an hour. That was back.
How
like,
old?
Dude,
You
I've
played
actually.
basketball?
I thought we
Yeah.
were getting the hoop.
Oh yeah, we need to get it.
We gotta
at the,
get it.
at the new
At
the
the
new
new spot.
office. Yeah. Well, we're
Yeah,
having,
well,
like,
I'm not very good at basketball, but I was always very good at standing in people's way.
Oh well,
make it
I
very
mean, I
difficult
could
for
see
them to
that.
shoot.
I could see
You're a
that.
good pick player.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was really good at that.
Wait, how old were you?
I was okay. I'm not bragging. I just had a system when I was 15 years old on how to make $12 to $15 to $18 an hour by the time I was 17, 18 years old.
Mhm.
So I'm talking about I was already walking out of jobs 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, all because in my head I was like, I'm gonna own my own business anyways. I have no idea. I have no
Wow.
loyalty to any of these guys.
Wow.
I would go to a job, and again, I can say this now because this is way later. I can go to a job, work there, say, okay, I'm getting paid $10 an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever I gotta do, I'll get paid $10 an hour. I don't care what I did. I just got paid $10 an hour.
Yeah.
I would work there 6 months.
Yeah.
Now, what's the normal raise that you would probably expect after a year?
A year. What?
It's
Say
supposed to
that
be
again?
10%.
10%. So $10 an hour, you're gonna get what? 10 cents raise, right? That's all you're gonna get.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're
I
gonna
mean,
get
depends.
10 cents raise. They might give you a quarter. Hey, now you're
Like
making
per
from
hour
10.
stuff like that.
Okay, now you go from 10 to 10.50. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Okay, it was easier to look for a new job.
Right.
Say, hey, listen, I'll come work for you. While I'm working with this job, get them to give me a great recommendation,
Uh huh.
and say, I'll come for you for 11.
Okay.
Go to the next job,
So
leave
that's-
my job,
That's the opportunity
We'll just
cost.
That's-
like
yeah.
literally
Right.
sit there and climb,
and then
job after job,
work,
dollar,
work
dollar,
at that job
dollar.
for 6
Yeah.
months,
Yeah.
and then say, hey, they paid me 11, I'll come to you for 12.
Yeah.
So I did that until I
Slowly
was making
climb.
like 12 by 50. So like I said, it took me 3 years, and I was making somewhere around $17 or $18 an hour. So when I walked out of a job, I didn't particularly care because I already knew that whatever job I went to, my stick was, well, I just made $11 an hour here.
I'm
There was some creative
slightly more,
differences
yep.
or whatever the case is.
So you pivoted everything.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, that's smart.
So
That's entrepreneurial.
I
yeah,
don't know. I've never like had like an office desk job.
they're boring.
Well,
Even though I have an office desk job
no,
now.
I'm saying like even though technically what
That's
we
technically
do,
my
no,
job
we
now.
all now
Secretary
do.
people, yeah.
We do, but I'm saying I've never had that
Or
like
office
the
barnacles.
cubicle
Yeah.
experience. You know, like when I graduated college, right down here at this New Urban Suites building was my first job, and it was with a guy who had a startup, and I wore 17 different hats. Like it was the craziest experience, and that was the closest to a cubicle job, even though it was not at all, you know, that type of position. But I used to sit there and get depressed and say, why would I work for somebody else when I can figure out how to do this on my own?
Yeah, I kind of had the same
You know?
thing. Like I've
We grew up in the age of the internet, though. We were talking
Yeah.
about this off mic before we started.
Who grew up in the age of the internet?
We did. So we have the, well, you're younger than
I was
us,
gonna
but,
say, thanks guys.
but we have the ability to we have access to information that
Right,
the
that
generations
wasn't
before us didn't have.
true.
right.
My biggest pet peeve, and it was the best lesson I learned.
You do realize that the internet was invented while I was coming up, right?
Well, what, 96? Let's call
How
that
old are you?
modern era.
I'm 30.
What do you
You're
consider?
38?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You look really good.
He's got such good skin.
I know, wait.
It's that Cuban skin, man.
Yeah.
And then, like us white people, we crack.
Yeah.
I know, we do. I'm
I
gonna be
listen.
like 28 and I'm already gonna start getting Botox.
Oh wow. Oh, I'm sorry. Get some Latin. in you.
That's just white women. Just you talking yourself into shit you don't need.
No,
to do.
no. At the end of the day, I think that almost everybody. Because look, Asians, you would think that they go from like.
Why are you
being,
pointing at me? No.
Well,
I was gonna say, lie, you're not
'cause
telling
my
us
life-
something?
yeah. It's they go from looking porcelain skin their entire lives, and then maybe like way later they go from like, oh gosh, what are you, 40, and then all of a sudden they go to 80. But
We'll
it's like
edit that out.
they
in
managed to
post,
keep
baby.
they managed to keep their skin like super porcelain because they moisturize and they stay in the shade and they, you know.
No, my wife looks way younger than me.
She
way
does.
younger than me. But
Mama looks
comparatively,
good.
I definitely have gray pubes and gray. A
No,
couple
we
gray
started
pubes.
out with this. I
I'm
want
gonna
to
call
go
back,
back
to that.
it.
It's called a callback.
I know,
it's a little
but
industry thing.
I know it is. but
It'll
So
happen to you too one day. Don't worry about it.
so my thing with like, do y'all read all these things with like Yeah, with depends how you throw it out. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about this.
But do y'all? I don't buy into this bullshit.
Tune in next time.
These
You understand?
articles, these articles online that are about like millennials don't know how to work or anything. I think it's just generational. I think you look at every generation below you and just shit on it. I do think that the preferences.
Come on in,
are
Mike.
Oh,
Y'all want to come in?
my heart.
Y'all want to join the party?
Come on in.
What's up?
My
Have
heart.
a
some
seat.
break.
Roll up right here.
Come here.
We
We'll
just
plug
got
in the other mic over here. We'll get Mike a digital caviar in here.
We were just talking about you.
I know.
You
I'm
just-
sorry that I came in. Did I like
No.
ruin a meeting?
No, you're
I
good, you're good.
I didn't know who any of those people were. I didn't even know. Well, I liked your video though.
Oh, did you see it?
Yes, I already
Have you
shared
seen
it too.
Have you seen it?
I haven't
It's
yet.
all over the internet.
Oh, you haven't seen
It's
it
all
yet?
over
I
the
haven't seen
internet.
it yet.
Oh shit!
Oh, the world
Are we
exclusive.
live right now? What's up?
Yes.
Live,
Hi,
baby.
buddy.
Here,
Sit down.
swap seats right there.
Oh, sorry.
It'd be
Sorry.
easier if you stood and just go into that
Yeah.
chair. I'm gonna coordinate this, guys. I got
There
this.
you
You
go.
got this.
This is why you're a good director.
Right.
Slide in. There we go.
So yeah, 4
Alright.
mics hot. Let's see. Let's
You wanna do it?
hear you out on there. Get up to that robot penis there.
He had enough. that's how Garbanzo gets going.
Yes.
So
There we go. We're all here now.
What's going on?
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear myself.
Good.
yeah,
Then
this is on the
everything-
Mevo camera too. So you can point over there.
At least
you can
somebody
see,
got it working right.
you can see.
It always works better for him. I have no idea why.
All right, we have the audio mixer going into that. The way you got to do this, and this is still kind of pretty ghetto, is we gotta have it recorded online. You can go on the video. You go download this video back. I'm gonna export the audio and put it into GarageBand and put it out on MP3. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
That
So
was
that's-
nice. Yeah.
Essentially what we do when we put it on YouTube.
That takes us 2 hours to set up
It
the
does.
Mevo.
So we can close that gap. That shouldn't take that long.
We should make it.
You can upload it. So I've been able to take the Mevo, if you record it not live and put it on the SD card, you can Bluetooth download it and then upload it directly to YouTube from your phone. So you don't have to like put it through a bunch of different devices other than your phone.
Nice,
Wow,
nice.
okay.
Very
You
cool.
should be able to do that with
Learn
a
something new every
MacBook,
day.
but you guys aren't MacBook. You are,
Yeah.
but you're not.
No, I'm still PC.
How does that work?
What are PCs?
I'm gonna check there. Y'all keep carrying this conversation.
Well, first and foremost, Sam was your first biggest fan upon seeing your new video that you just.
I really was. He showed me it, and then I was like, I need to watch that again, like for full comprehension, but like totally awesome.
Listen, if you guys are wondering what we're talking about, Mike contributed a brand new. Mike and my business partner Hector, we're all business partners here. Just dropped a new little video on the rap party right here on Facebook. It's just a little.
Oh, do we push it through Rap Party?
Yeah, we pushed it through rap party.
Okay. Nice.
And then everybody shared it. Garbanzo. Oh my god!
It's the beans guy.
It's the beans guy.
Yeah. He's here. Law's point was, man, what a decline. UPMing up for Kevin Smith, beans guy.
I was saying, I called it though. I was like, this is a delirious sketch. You guys
were definitely doing some weird things.
Oh man, it was awesome. It was awesome. We just finished the show and we were, I don't know how Garbanzo beans came up.
Well, it started with the whole, what was it, the douchebag, Tumblr douchebags or whatever?
Tumblr douchebag, which by the way, law.
Tumblr?
Real
No,
life,
I heard.
real life.
So what's the sketch?
Hey, no, we're not going to spoil the
Tinder.
sketch. The Tinder. We're not gonna,
Tinder.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil the sketch because we
Do you
want you
think
to
any-
take a part in the sketch.
Do you think anybody's gonna watch this and go, "Oh shit, I'm gonna steal this idea"?
Yeah, well, in my head.
Look, I give out free strategy on
We
this
are
fucking on this podcast all the time. Execution's the hard part. My
Yeah,
dear
well,
friends. Ideas are easy.
There's some apparently there's some
Very
pretty creepy people on dudes on what is it called again?
Tinder, not Tumblr. But
Tinder.
Tumblr's pretty
Tinder.
creepy too.
Yeah.
Tumblr has
There's some pretty creepy dudes on Tinder that had some awesome one-liners.
Watch this again. You guys are like lovers. I love it. Wrong
This is Mike's reaction. He's watching this for the first time. So for those of you who are watching,
You're watching.
I am. I'm watching it for the first time.
Let me get closer to you.
bring it back.
You got it?
Hold it.
And then I get shirtless. And then little Mike. I was like, you guys are too good to like.
50 cents off at Bravo Supermarket.
It's just a weird kind of sketch that's just like, this screams like 11, 12, 1 a.m.
So.
You're tired as shit.
Wait.
You're laughing at shit. You're like, is this funny? I don't give a shit. We're doing it.
We're doing it, exactly.
This is what I want to know though. How many times did you guys go through that? Like,
Once.
were you sitting
We nailed it on the first try. Never had to do it again.
Like, I feel like I'd be sitting there laughing.
They call them one-shot actors.
One shot.
They got it going.
I only had to feel his breath on my lips one time. I
That's
promise.
nice. That's
that
nice.
was it.
That's nice.
That was it.
That's
Take
good.
my
Here.
breath away. I should put that in the background.
No, it was actually like 10 times. It was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Well,
Okay, 'cause I would be laughing.
I'm gonna be honest. They started here, and it was like, no, it's not awkward enough.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get like.
And then
yeah.
then they just it just got.
And
And
you
then,
guys were like,
I had to throw him in the loop, and I actually put my arms around him.
Yeah.
You didn't see that there, but I did it. I committed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I committed.
Yeah,
Go
he
whole
took-
hog, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Why
Go
not?
big or
You
go
know what I mean?
home.
Yeah.
Go full hogs.
but
That's the Michigan way.
Hector had already cracked. He was like just.
Oh, I could see y'all like.
I know. Well, that's why I was like.
Yeah.
So tell us about working with Kevin Smith, man, because Damian's trying to speak for you, but
It didn't really work.
Well, I kept it very vague because at the end of the day, I was like, you need to get it from the horse's mouth.
yeah.
I mean, it was awesome, man. It was kind of surreal at first, you know what I mean? Going in there and you get into the mode of... We spent 2 weeks prior to actually working with Kevin Smith on the pre-production, which is not a lot of time, as a lot of people know in the production industry, but 2 weeks killing it with the students, Ringling, and Andy came down, Kevin's producer, to help us out with that process. But a large portion of that, Kevin Smith wasn't even there. So all of a sudden it was just like, we're getting this machine rolling, and then all of a sudden, boom, Kevin Smith is here, and it's like,
I'm here. I've arrived.
yeah,
I
he's
have
like,
arrived.
yes, it was like holy shit, this is Kevin Smith here,
Yeah.
and like
You pulling that back?
he's like
Just a
calling
bit.
action, and
We're wider now.
doing the damn
How's that? How's that
Here,
look?
you want my
Do you want
phone?
it? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's just a bit.
So, like, how'd you guys all get, like, hooked up, I guess, in the first place, for us who don't know?
That's good enough.
So,
Just through Ringling, they were
Yeah,
like, hey,
through
we need you
Ringling.
to come down here.
yeah,
Like,
a good friend of mine, Tony Stopperin.
Mhm.
We've been wanting to work together for a while on stuff, and we just kept on missing each other.
Oh,
And so finally, he was able. He had 2 projects. We just actually did Justin Long's project. Actor. He was doing a small.
I like him.
Yeah, he's
I was
really
gonna say,
really
I
cool.
He's
You
the for
mentioned
people
him
that don't
before.
know, not into movies and stuff. He's the
not
guy.
into movies.
Well, he's the guy. He's in a lot of stuff. You'd be like, oh, the guy from the Apple commercials like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That'd probably be
Yeah.
your first thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or it's not going to be.
It's not something that
Liver Die Hard or whatever the
Right.
shitty fucking
The
fourth
Die Hard
movie
movie,
with the
yeah.
Die Hards.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, so we
I'm
started
chapped
off.
by it, so.
Yeah, so he's a cool dude, but we didn't. It wasn't a big. Yeah, you obviously are.
Are you guys not?
Like you can tell that you.
Well,
were
Are you
yeah,
guys not
I mean,
entertained?
It was a phone
Not
in
entertained.
for Bruce.
Booze. All we
No,
got.
no.
What are you looking for?
Water for him. I'm pretty sure
Water?
you want that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch to beer in a second. I don't know why I even.
I'm
put
out
that
of- I'm
front
out
up.
of beer.
Why are you
I was like, I'm not gonna
No, what's wrong with
do a beer, and I was just like, oh.
He has
I'll
liquor.
go get you a
He has
beer.
liquor, right?
It's
We
a,
might
It
have to
sounded
make a
good.
run downstairs.
It sounded good for a
next
second, and that
door.
was it. No.
yeah. So
Yeah,
do you want a
now
beer or
I'm
no?
good. Yeah, I'll do it.
We're out here, so
You want me to go downstairs?
is that cool?
Yeah. What do I
Yeah.
do? What do I say to them?
You just go,
Will
hey,
they
I'm going
say
upstairs.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's on camera. Is that okay?
Is that okay? Will they ID me?
Maybe. I don't know.
What do you guys
Not-
want?
Not me.
I'm good right now. I'm on my second.
Yeah.
I'm good. I still got some in there.
Just whatever.
Okay.
Thanks.
Like this started off as a very nerdy, technical, typical
Yeah.
Tokubaga.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
celebrating 2 years on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
2
years,
years in
nice.
business.
It'll
Yeah.
be 2
He's
years.
not 2 years old, but he's celebrating. Yeah.
yeah.
2 years old. What's
2 years,
What's it like?
300 companies consulted or improved or enhanced by us. Y'all are part of that. Y'all are part of that. Sam is as well. So we're doing that.
I'm a better person since you moved next door.
I'm an,
My
well,
business and myself.
there you go.
There's
See?
a lot of
I'm
behind
gonna
the
pull that
scenes
sliver
conversations
out.
that I have
That
with
is
Law.
a-
That's just
a
like
testimonial,
they're mind blowing. This
well,
guy is like a
Asperger's-y John Gruden of the digital landscape, some would say.
Yeah,
Only
wow,
me,
yeah.
but some would say.
Yeah.
Some-
Yours,
some would say.
You can count as some. We'll use
so-
you in the plural.
So you're, on Sunday, if you're coming down to the Bricks, we're going to do from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We got a little mimosa bar on us, and just a reason to kind of go have brunch.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm super
hey,
white,
couple
so
bros.
yeah.
Bros having brunch.
Bros
It's-
having brunch.
There's a lot of RSVP-ish things are coming in. Like I'm going to stop by. I was like, oh, I better cap this mimosa bar off just in case. So I had a conversation with the Bricks downstairs. I was like, can we cap this off? I was like, I think we might have too many people.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be like, oh shit, I gotta pay $1,500 on the tab or something. I ain't that. I ain't Jameis Winston rich.
That's,
Neither.
you know,
none of
but-
us are.
Yeah.
But you know, if you do have that kind of a turnout, then I mean, I would consider myself blessed because that means that your clients,
There's
and
a lot-
those that you've helped, have built a relationship beyond just a work relationship. Because that's coming out on a Sunday for someone else's celebration is like a hey, that's
I'm all about, if you're gonna do an event, if you're gonna do a party like celebrating what you're doing, do brunch. It's easier, and I see it now from the parents' perspective more than anything, because it's so hard to get a babysitter at night. Because you don't realize like the market demand on babysitters until you're on the other side of it. I didn't realize like you don't give out good babysitters. You just don't.
Yeah.
Like I have
Keep them
I have two
secret.
really
Keep
good
them
ones, and I'm
secret,
like
yeah.
I only give it out to my business partner, and I give it out to like 3 other people. I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
you don't want
it
their time
sucks
booked.
because you're gonna lose that opportunity. So Twinkle Toes Nanny Agency, if you're in the Tampa Bay area or in Florida, is good for continual kind of babysitter. But like brunch is easy. You can come in, you can eat lunch, you can eat breakfast, you can have a little cantaloupe. That's from Simpsons. But you can get drunk during the day, which is most important.
Yeah,
And it's a reason. It's justifiable reason.
Right.
Like, yo, like why are you? Because I went to brunch.
yeah. I don't
Right.
need
No one's gonna be like,
reason.
oh shit, this guy's just a drunk. It's
Yeah.
it's like, no, you went to brunch, or you're one of my friends I live vicariously through that's single. You went out like, well, you guys aren't single, but like you guys can
Like,
go
don't
out.
point at us yet.
Well, with kids, now I define the line at kids because I'm a total nerd about all this stuff now. But like, the kid keeps you tethered. You can't really do anything. Like 9 o'clock is.
I'm gonna be an '80s parent.
What's that mean?
You know, smoke around them, drink around them, just carry them in the backseat with no seatbelt, just fucking just go 80s with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll
You know,
work out.
Smack,
You know,
let them stick their fingers in the socket.
I like how Small's voice was like 2 octaves higher. Hey,
sure.
that'll work out for you.
We got a lot of lawyers as clients, so they'll get your back.
It'll be fine. I mean, it's look. If anyone says anything, I'll be like, look at me, I survived. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not that my parents didn't have me stick my fingers in sockets, but I'll be honest with you. I mean,
They made you?
No, and you know, if I climb the
hey,
tree,
go stick your finger in the socket.
if I climb the
What did
tree,
you say? Stick your
if
finger.
I climb the tree and fell out of it, my mom would be like, that, you know, that's what you got. You know what I mean? I got the.
An arrangement.
I didn't know what people
A
wanted.
medley. I'll take that fat tire.
Alright.
Thank you. Or I'll take that if no one wants that.
I'll switch fat tire with you.
Alright. I like Sierra Nevada.
It's like card trading, but beer.
Are you a Bud girl?
Well, I just got whatever.
Thank you.
You want the fat tire?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, it's a celebration of sorts. Why not? It's Friday.
I know we don't do this every Friday. Usually we're sitting here like cranking.
Right. Crank.
I am.
Crank. That sounds like we're doing like
No, we're
truckers.
not doing.
Yeah.
No.
We're doing
Nah.
crank. But I mean, video
give up.
side, you guys have just crazy hours. It's a lot. It's like I don't know how y'all keep your sanity because I feel like I've got that, but that's my own dumbass fault a lot of the time because I'll get anxious about like, oh, I gotta get this work done. Gotta get this
My
work done.
anxiety
Right.
is unreal.
And it ends up like if I stay on a schedule like cut it off at 8 p.m. I'm not gonna do any more work. Just wake up at 5. You're much better to do that.
Yeah, it's a great schedule to try to stick to.
Do it better that way because I'll stay up till 3, but you're doing it at half speed because you've got one eye open.
Yeah. Well, especially if you've been working all day long.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a night person and you're kind of getting up in the afternoon and you're just working that schedule, it's not so bad. But if you're working client hours, right, because your clients are up at 8 o'clock in the morning, so you got to get here, and then you're working till 3 o'clock, forget about it. You're not accomplished.
So, like, I mentioned to them that you had about 60 people on that crew, and Sam asked the question, like, why? I mean, aside from, you know, the director, we call the people above the line. No, just because this is actually really good because the biggest crew I've ever had was probably 25.
Okay.
You're accounting for at least twice the size of that crew and then some. But we're going to say
We're talking
that
about
we're,
like fake moons.
yeah, but we're going to say that there was at least 10 people that were above the line,
Yeah.
as you like to call it, right? As the term is. Above the line meaning they're the creatives and they're the directors, they're above the line. And then beneath the line is the crew.
Okay.
And we kind of mentioned this on our rap
Oh,
party,
really?
but just
I didn't know that was
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say,
like the full line for a website.
Yeah.
Before you scroll, that's the full.
That's the full.
Yeah.
And it's
So
not
above the
it's not to say that the crew doesn't have the crew is actually very creative, but the
Sure.
general
like
definition
tech-
is the people that are in charge of telling the story or putting the bigger pieces together above the line. So that'd be your talent, your producer, your director, and your writer. You know what I mean? Those are your above the line people.
Okay.
And then everybody else is considered below the line.
Mm.
They're like the ones that make it happen. Like
Yeah, they
build
execute
it.
the
They
plan.
get
They
everything
execute
done.
the other
Yeah.
people's
Plan, yeah.
They're the worker
But
bees.
but almost any good crew leader will take at least some opinions from qualified members because
Right, yeah.
you're kind of depending on. There's a lot of moving parts. You're always depending on them to do some stuff like that. If you know, I personally have been on plenty of crews that had some big lighting setups. I am not a gaffer, so
Yeah,
I am
I was gonna
not
say
really
it's not
good
gaffing,
at
yeah.
knowing what the best. I know what I want it to look like, but I'm not probably the person qualified on the crew
Right.
to say use this light and this filter instead of, you know what I mean? So I defer to my gaffer, and his creative input will help out a lot in achieving the look that I want.
Okay.
Yep.
So they still have creative input. It's just in what they do, I would say.
Yeah, no,
It's
absolutely.
like very specialized.
So what were the other 50
Yeah, what
people
were all
doing?
these other people doing?
I mean, it takes a lot of people, until you've been on set, you don't really fully understand that it takes a lot of people to create an image. You know what I mean? There's a lot of components taking place. And so, I mean, anywhere from production department to usually, you know, you got your whole camera team. Your camera team, and this one consisted of 7 people in total.
Oh wow.
That's just to move the camera.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, is this like a big camera?
Yeah. All 7 people are lifting this one camera. But it was a 2-camera shoot. But you know, so you got 7 people there. You know, your G&E department, your gaffers and grips. I mean, these guys are the workhorses of the shoot, and they're moving stands, they're moving lights, they're running cords, they're doing all kind of stuff. And you've got art department, you've got PAs, you've got sound, you've got all of these different people who specialize in their craft and their trade.
That's so
and
cool,
they
though.
have to come together, and very quickly do you realize that the numbers start to add up. You
And
know,
you're like, oh my God, we have over
Yeah.
50 people
Yeah,
right now
absolutely.
working on this.
and at first you're like, oh well, it doesn't take that many people to do this, but the second that you don't have those people there, you realize
You're
how
suffering,
important it is.
yeah.
And hands are PAs are incredibly important.
Yeah.
And
PAs are production
Production
assistants.
production
Yep.
assistants.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I can tell you
Look
right.
at Damian filling in house.
I
duties.
know.
I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Good, good.
I don't like
Put
being
that out
the host.
there.
I like
Put
just
that out there.
yeah.
So yeah, man, it was a fun shoot. It was a really fun shoot.
So, like, so I got to get back to the crux of this podcast. If I wanted to be a PA, how do you go about that? How would I do that?
Talk to your local anybody
Like, what
who's
would you
making
str- what-
commercials or.
I'm watching a lot of
films
Sesame Street these days, right? It's kind of interesting.
and you want to be a PA on Sesame Street.
I mean,
Is
that would be
is that
pretty
where we're
awesome.
going with this?
HBO did now,
That'd
so
be so awesome.
it's not
I
PBS no
know.
more.
It's not?
No,
No,
it's
HBO bought it.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes you got a budget now,
Yeah,
yo.
yeah.
Have you seen Big Bird?
Let's
Have you seen Big Bird?
His feathers are real.
Yeah.
They're like down, custom.
something interesting I noticed. The last years of PBS, a lot of celebrities. I think they're trying to salvage it. 2016, 2017. No
2018
celebrities.
is their year, though.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So
It would
I'm
be.
watching. I'm watching it from like I'm looking at it like.
10%.
Well, no, I'm looking at it from a nerd perspective. What would it be like to be that actor? Like the guy Chris, who's just like a jolly guy, but he's 37, but he looks like he's like 17 kind of
That's
guy.
kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, but he's like, oh wow, like that kind of acting, and I'm like, I wonder what that guy like. Does that guy go out and drink, or do they find him like? Is he a Mormon, or like, do they find these guys that they know they're not gonna fuck up?
They need, like, the inside story.
So with Sesame Street, what's interesting, because it is legit. I do like that my kid watches it over like something just that doesn't provide any like substance. I read that in Freakonomics will tell you that, in Malcolm Gladwell's book. They'll talk about Sesame Street's actually really good for your kid because they actually do infuse a lot of stuff. They talk about strategy all the time, which I think is interesting because I kind of obsessed with that. I think about like, what would your strategy be if you got in this game? If you just playing paintball with your buddies, like
Right.
you're instantly like, what's your strategy? What am I going to do? I feel like, what's your strategy if you're in college right now? They want to be working with you kind of guys or higher level Kevin Smith. What would be your strategy? You're 19, you're an undergrad, you think you want to do this, you're not even in a major that's in that area. What would your strategy be right now, you think?
Anything and everything to just get on set,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ask.
You have to get on set. You have to ask.
So
Look,
what-
we have our website, 208 Monkeys, and I just recently got an inquiry through our website for an intern.
It's a hot website.
Yeah, right.
Someone is.
I know.
someone-
Someone
I-
did
I-
a
someone-
really
for,
good
for all,
job.
Yeah, for all of you
Someone
out there,
girthy made
for
it.
all you out there, I know a guy.
I know a
I
guy.
know a
Yeah.
guy.
He's currently
It's a-
rocking the orange hat.
It's a
But, like,
girthy
is-
website.
Like, do you know what's interesting though is, especially like from my position too, because like I'm subcontracted by a lot of like ad and marketing agencies, and you would never think that just emailing them, because like sometimes these sites are like so polished and so amazing
Yep.
that you're a little bit intimidated to be like, should I email them? But you're saying somebody did come up to you
Yeah,
and
it's
say that,
just
and like,
an email.
I know you, I know how you guys work, you guys are a really great organization, that, if they're really somebody who wants to learn and stuff, I could totally see you taking on someone like
and
that.
I mean, we could probably compare the same applications. All of us have probably done
Yeah.
this, but we've all had interns, I'm sure, at some
Yes.
point or another. This person reached out, said, I like your company, I like what you do, I would be interested in interning with you. Okay, fine. Send the resume or send the portfolio.
Yeah, send whatever you got.
They send whatever they got. Now, whether or not I need them is not really the question. The question is that they reached out, so I already know that they have some sort of initiative.
They have drive.
They have some drive. So I will at least entertain the idea of like, okay, I may not have time to train you, but if you are willing to get on set and do some things, then I can at least have you do something basic. And that's really
Right.
the first thing. Get on set, and maybe all you're doing is getting the coffee. And to some people, that's like, oh, it's the coffee. I want to get on there. I want to get
Yeah, but
right
you're
into it.
sitting
But
there, you're absorbing all of the things that are happening around you
people have
while
to
you're on
know
set.
you. We talked about this earlier with hiring and stuff like that.
Yep.
There's a lot of moving parts on a set. You are not going to be, if you're coming out and you're green, you're not going to be giving anything of responsibility because people got to get to know you,
Well,
get to know that you can gel with the crew,
need
they
your
get to know that you can
credibility,
take,
too.
that
Yeah.
you can take something as simple as a coffee order. Can
Yeah.
you do that? Okay, you can do that, I can give you something else.
Yeah.
You can do that, I can give you something else. And you can grow fairly quickly. It's not like it takes a long time.
Oh yeah, I know.
You get in there and you hustle, you're picking up trash and making sure that everyone's taken care of, that their coffee's hot or whatever case is. Someone's like, hey, who's that guy Law? Yeah, he's pretty sharp. I like him.
His forehead's
You
huge.
know, Yeah, his forehead's huge. I could definitely pick him out of a crowd. Let's find him. Let's call him on the next shoot.
Yeah.
Which is a common characteristic of with people who have higher IQs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
What?
bigger foreheads.
Do I have a big forehead?
Oh yeah. Are you
Okay.
serious? I got a 5 head going over here. The Peyton Manning's like, damn. It's just like anything, right? If you wanted to get into the financial world, if you wanted to get into like, if you wanted to get into being a CFP, certified financial planner, you would hit up a bunch of smaller houses and go, hey, is there a job? Is there a job? And I totally agree. Sometimes you can get intimidated by sites or the approach of talking to someone where it might look so polished, but a lot of people don't understand when you guys are doing stuff most of the time, or anybody in your industry, you're doing so many things at once. It may look awesome on the outside, but you're just as open to a lot of this stuff too. You know, I don't know.
We are.
What, is there any, so, all right, what's the strategy? I'm 19 years old. I look for, how do I look for production houses around? Other than like,
Well,
what should I look for?
if you're 19 years old or whatever, and you're looking to find a production house,
I'm a
hey,
supple
there's-
19-year-old.
I'm ready.
There's-
I'm 19. What do I do?
Yeah, well, I could take that. So,
I know.
So,
What do
I'm
I
like,
do, Damian?
keep the information.
Bonzo.
No, the first thing you gotta do is you just gotta Google the spots that are running in your area and see what it is that they do. I mean, there's Fox here, there's a bunch of stuff, there's always some sort of production, and I don't care if even if what you're doing is on weddings. You know what I mean? You pick up a camera and get seen doing stuff and get out there and do something. Mike said it best, get on set, which means I don't care if I want to pick up your trash, I need to get there because the only way you're gonna get beyond the door is to get at least one tiny toe in your. So your first strategy should be reach out to everybody. Don't be shy. You're gonna get probably 100 no's or we're not interested right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta at least keep trying. And there are sometimes that there are open calls. They're open, for extras or whatever the case is. Even if
Get
you're
in that
extra,
too, right?
Yep.
yeah, even if you're an extra, you're there, you're on
Yeah,
set, and
that's
you
a
can
good point.
always say, hey. You could always spot the guy who's probably running around and taking care of like things, not the director. Do not bother the director. Look for somebody else who might be running around taking care of some things and be like, you want me to carry that for you? Oh, you're an extra. No, I mean, if it's okay. Now, mind you, in union states, and if you're in a union state, you can't touch anything that you're not supposed to touch.
Yeah.
In Florida, on
Whole
the
other
other hand,
beast.
yeah, it's a whole different beast. And depending on how large a production, don't go onto Michael Bay's set as an extra and try to carry a light. You will get kicked out.
Those people aren't even like
Yeah.
the actor side is crazier. Like those people are crazy.
Yeah.
Extras are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But the point is that you got to get on there. Steven Spielberg interned, by the way, and he wore the exact same suit the entire time. And then when his internship ended, he kept going back, but because he kept wearing the same brown suit, the guard let him through. They recognized him. They're like, "Hey, it's little Steve with the brown suit." They just kept letting him through, and then he just kept doing different things. That's how he got on lot. Is by doing it that way. So
It's called
You
gumption.
find a place where you're needed. You
Yeah.
know what I mean, you get on set. If you can get on set, it's not always you gotta get coffee or you gotta get. That's the common like I guess nomen. Everybody
Yeah,
thinks that's what you have to do. But if you can just be a fly on the wall, get on set somehow. You got a friend or whatever the case would be, and just sit back and watch and find a way where you're needed. You know what I mean? Figure out something. Oh look, this guy's running around. Can I help him out with something? Just talk to him. You know what I mean? Boom. That's because you can always use extra hands.
can I hold this for you while you go get a sandbag?
Yep.
That's helpful.
Anything.
Sandbag.
It's a.
Hold stuff down.
Yeah,
hold stuff
yeah,
down.
Come on now.
Well,
Okay.
my first thing was
I
like
did say-
hurricane prep.
No. I did say.
Hurricane
You know when he said that, I'm like, did I say teabag? No, I said sandbag. Yes, sandbag.
Hold this one at teabag you. This is your internship.
But I think what's interesting is that, like you were saying, like find out what's in your area first. That's like step one.
Yeah.
So like things that I've done in the past that have helped that I think would be applicable here is, you know, whatever area that you're in, do the initial research, but then keep a spreadsheet about what that organization is, what their website is, what's the best way that they like to be contacted, and then a notes section so that when you do email them and introduce yourself and say what you're doing, you make note of that, and then you have an area that says, did they reply to me? Like, what was that follow-up? Was there no response? Was there nothing?
So structured.
No,
My
no,
dad
she's
taught me
right.
that.
Yes.
No,
But
that's
I'm
good.
saying, like, so
Wow.
then you keep track of, like, it's almost like your own personal handmade CRM where you're
Right.
sitting there and you're keeping note about where you've been, what you've done, but then also going back through that to make sure, hey, has something popped up in the last year that maybe I didn't catch, but just knowing what's around you, because otherwise,
Yeah. And you know what?
CRM, customer relationship.
I was just gonna say, Dave,
We're
do
not
you
going
guys
to
do
managers
you
just
have a
going-
handmade CRM?
No, I do not. But hey, if you need
no,
I
I'm
need to go
saying
get
that's
one
like,
now, though.
but I'm saying,
Hey.
like, but that's
She'll
what
look
a
that up.
spreadsheet is, though, is that you sit
we're
there.
talking after this.
Sales
I need
calls.
my own CRM.
Yes.
There's applications out there, wonderful
I use it.
things.
Look, I use
She's
Evernote
like,
for a
hey,
lot.
hey,
That's
hey,
awesome.
hey,
though.
I know,
That's
I know
it's
it's
so
all right.
important.
I
I
know
mean,
that.
she nailed it right. I mean,
Think
that's,
about it. Think about it like a little black book before everything went digital.
Right, well, that-
right?
that's
you
what I
kept a
mean.
lot of notes like
Yeah,
this.
no, no, absolutely.
But, like,
But
making sure that you
also check out their social media because their social media will definitely. I mean, hey,
Give you
I
clues.
knew how to plug you back in there. If you check out any production company has some social media presence, and in their social media, they're kind of letting you know what's going on. And so that is definitely an opportunity to probably get some insight as to when is a good opening to do
Right,
something.
right,
And it's
but
not
then
even like a
also
hire; it's
looking
just
at
for like
that-
a momentary thing.
just to get your face known, even if they're posting certain things and you have an opinion about it that could help them or something, interacting that way through the comments or messaging them, then that's even another way of not, like, obviously, like, getting on lot is the goal, but there's other now digital ways to do that.
Yeah,
So
sure.
by interacting online and getting yourself involved that way,
I call it
makes you
being the super
familiar.
fan.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little technique that I've told a lot of
I
students.
like that, yeah.
Let me tell you a little technique that I've told
I'm
students.
listening.
Professor A.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
So I've said, look,
Prop.
let's say you're a graphic artist, right?
Yep.
And you're like, hey, I want
I'm
to
a
get
real
into graphic
introvert,
artists.
and
Yeah,
I don't
I'm a
like
real
taking.
introvert.
I don't like taking any criticism.
Any criticism, but you need to
It's all
get into
right.
certain places. So what you do is you find the 5 or 10 graphic artists that you would like to be, at their company or whatever the case is, and you
Mhm.
follow them on Instagram, you follow them on Facebook, you like, comment, and do all the stuff you
Can I
can
give you
about
one
their
better?
stuff,
Dribble.
or dribble.
Yeah.
You
But
follow
wait,
them.
let me
You-
stop you just for 1 second.
Dribble.
Though. When you are interacting and commenting and liking and sharing, just make sure you're not doing it for the sense of saying I'm
Every
doing
other
it. Make sure
you
it's
need
an
to dribble.
authentic reason why you're doing it.
It's an authentic reason, and the authentic reason is I'm trying to be you.
Yep.
It's an
There you go.
authentic reason.
No, you're right.
No,
But-
for sure.
Definitely right.
By doing so, you can always, if you build a relationship with, again, and I use a spread of 5 or 10, if you build enough of a relationship, be like, hey, anybody on this forum, I'm not necessarily asking the particular artist, but anybody on this forum, here's some of my stuff, I'm open to some critiques, or anybody want to say anything about this. You see this a lot with a lot of like graphic artists and animators. They do share some stuff, and you'll see the professionals will chime in. Because the pros are looking at it too, they're like, hey man, I like this, maybe your timing's a little off, maybe you could have done this, maybe you could have done that. Now you've just opened up a dialogue.
Yeah.
And now you can follow up on that dialogue. Now it's a warm lead that was built organically over time versus the cold call that, again, people in this industry, people in a lot of these like creative industries, like to hire and work with people that they've interacted with, that they've known, that, hey, you know what? That was a pretty funny joke you said there, Law.
Mhm.
I laughed at it, chuckled, liked. You know what I mean? That's a
You know,
warmer lead.
That's what was interesting about stand-up that I never thought that like it was way more welcoming than I realized. And then I looked at the other arts, and it's the same thing. You get to a certain level, but you also want to you want your peers to appreciate what you're doing on a creative level, but you don't mind giving that information. I mean, some comics are kind of weird about it because they think you're taking their spots and stuff. To me, it's always the market's always so big, right? There's a
spot for
enough for
everybody.
market
Yeah.
growth. We haven't hit the '80s boom like it used to be. So I'm not worried about a market cap on funny, really. And if there is, you got to work it that much harder. So to me, like I feel like a lot of creatives are that way. You get to a certain level, there's going to be some douchebags that don't want to help you out or give you advice. As long as you're not annoying. The way I got into stand up is I just showed up. I would just go to shows that like book shows I wanted to be on, and I just hang out in the back and not be a douchebag. That was literally like I get booked on that. People wouldn't even see me do stand up. They would just go, I want to give this guy a shot because he's showing up. I'm taking 4 hours out of my night, almost every night when I was like 21, 22, to drive around LA and just go, that's the show I want to be on. and I just sat there and observed.
Yep.
And I talked to people after the show.
That's the equivalent of getting on set. That is the equivalent.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say that's
absolutely.
like the
Yep.
exact.
It was the Woody Allen rule, even though, you know, I don't want to live every Woody Allen rule, but the Woody Allen rule of like showing up's like 90% of the battle or whatever. I just go to the improv, Melrose Improv, and just hang out at the bar and just have a drink. And my buddy Robbie Slowick, who just worked with Jon Stewart, who's from the area, yeah, I'll plug him because he won't do it himself. Like, he's the story of that, like just hanging out. Just be around, don't be a dick, don't be too ambitious. Show you have ambition, show that you're working on stuff. Hey, I've got all these jokes. Like if someone, I remember meeting Joe Rogan in like 08 at the Melrose Improv bar, and I was like,
Oh, Hector's so jealous of you right now.
it was way before
He's
the
always
Joe
listening to
Rogan
Joe
experience,
Rogan,
though, and it was really cool. It was one of those things where it was like, he was like, "What are you working on?" kind of thing. It was like, well, I got this thing about pubic hairdos, you know, like that was my closer at the time, you know. And he was like, "It sounds pretty good. I want to hear that." He said something real nice, and I was just like, "That's cool that there's a Ralphie May thing about being prepared to be ready too." So when you're showing up, you got to do the work during the day. If you got a shitty day job, you know, you go to the bathroom, take a long shit, and write jokes, or write music, or write poetry, or work on scripts, storyboards, whatever you got to do, or write content. And then when you go out at night, or you go out during those off hours, that's when you kind of go, just be prepared that someone might ask you.
Yep.
Sam, what do you write when you take a shit?
You know, I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. I'm gonna be really honest. I'm only in there for like 5 minutes because like I like
never
just
get it.
go
When women do that?
and then I
No.
don't like hang out. Like I just know I have to go and then I go and then I go and then I'm
How do
done.
women do that?
I don't get it.
They don't
I
have
don't get
TVs
it.
in there.
She gets in and out. I'm like, I get lost in
Well,
the
he got mad at
article.
me earlier because I said I had to pee and I came back and he's like, "You're done." I'm like, "Is there a problem?"
It was under 37 seconds.
That is
so it's
precious
like,
time for me.
Right.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
alone
Like, I
time.
contemplate life in there. There's a lot going
saw
on.
problems.
Yes, I saw problems where I
Solve
get
the
most of my work
world
done.
issues.
Yes, it is. Seriously. So,
God, men and women are so different.
My
when it
legs
comes
fall asleep because I'm on my hands.
That's,
you
that's
ever had-
happened to me
Dude,
before.
have
though,
your
where
legs
like,
ever gone
fall
numb?
asleep.
yeah, dude, it's just like you get all tingly and you're just
Right.
like,
Brace
oh,
yourself
man,
to
yes.
stand.
Netflix on the phone is dangerous for this, man. Yeah, you're
Oh
like,
my God! When I first got Netflix on my phone, my bathroom breaks took at least a 50% increase, at least.
I'm like,
Yes.
oh, I'm FDR trying to get out of this place. I'm just like, yeah,
Oh, poor FDR. Too soon?
too soon, too soon.
Yes.
All right, I gotta pee.
See, made her pee. So I
Oh,
think
and she's back. Look at that.
Wait,
All right.
let's time it. We should time it.
All right, we're timing it.
I think that hustle it carries through because I and you guys know I lament creatives that don't have any work ethic. It's one of my pet peeves. I think like
Same here. Same here.
and what people think is work ethic is not actually work ethic. They're like, I'm putting in the hours. You're like, yeah, but you're doing this in a dumb way. You're not working on getting better and being smarter. Because everything you break down, especially on any video or film, is all about cost. Cost is crazy. And at the end of the day, it's all about efficiency and getting in, getting out. You have a 60-person crew. Some people could say that's small. For us, that's big. But like, it's all about everybody being so efficient that day and having to like be a manager of all these people when you're a producer or set director or any of that. I don't know what am I?
His position was
What's the right nomenclature?
it was the unit production manager.
But yeah, unit production manager, yes.
So you're directing everybody, just you here, you
So
here.
yeah, unit
You're like a
production.
quarterback.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you're coming in 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours ahead of the production for a specific
Probably more like an
location.
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not the head
Yeah.
coach, but you're right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're setting everything up, and you're making sure that everybody has what they're needing. And I always say this at the beginning of my pre-production meetings: is that my job is to be 3 steps ahead of the entire production.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's the basically,
The
and then,
defensive coordinator.
yep, and then
Instinct.
budgeting.
Mhm.
I mean, if the budget goes out the window, then it's the UPM's fault.
How quick did she
It was
just?
a
That's
minute
all.
30. It wasn't
That's
bad. It was a minute 30. That's
I ran a
pretty
dress
fast.
too.
That's respectable.
Can I borrow your hair then?
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's why I'm the sweetest guy because I've got all the hair ties. Yeah. I had put a hat on just because I haven't washed my.
I'll be
shower
right back. I
before
gotta
this.
actually go check on my people in my office real quick.
You gotta manage something.
Yeah, I gotta manage it for like 10 minutes. If not even that.
So what else is going on in the digital caviar world?
Oh, nothing, man. I mean, we've got that. We just finished up, some work with Damian and 208 Monkeys over at Keith Urban.
Yeah.
Doing that, and then we got to shoot another commercial shoot next week. So it's been kind of nonstop since we got off of that production.
That's
which
awesome.
Is awesome, man. Which is awesome. And then, keeping our fingers crossed. I don't like to put the cart before the horse, but we're looking to roll into possibly 3 or 4 feature films, like back to back to back.
Hey!
Yeah.
So
Need a production assistant?
yeah.
Hired. Done.
Hey, if there's anybody's listening that wants to get their foot in the door, I mean,
No, absolutely.
email,
Yeah.
go to their Facebook page or their websites and just straight up hit them up.
Yeah.
You know?
No, absolutely.
I have a
You'll be
waiting
getting an
list.
email from me. No. I know, well, but you
I keep a waiting list in Evernote.
I
Just people that hit me up and go, when we're ready, I'm gonna give you a call back. But I don't give them like none at this
Dates
time.
or,
kind of
like,
thing.
anything
I'll be
weird.
real. I'll just go, look, I don't want to hire anybody full time until we have to.
I mean, that's the smartest thing. You know what I mean? In a production company, I mean, overhead is, you try to keep that as low as possible, and you build up. I mean, luckily for something like this, you build up for 6 months. And that's a different beast, but, on a day-to-day basis, it's tough to cover 10, 15 employees unless you're constantly working, and
Right.
it's up and down, you know what I mean?
Well,
Always up and down.
We're all in this kind of like, I started talking to a lot of people and I tell them like, I'll consult with them and I go, we had it yesterday, and I go, Sam's gonna be better for this, for just
They were
handling
lovely ladies too.
handling this service you need, right? Social media marketing, social media advertising, email marketing. I said our retainer's gonna be too high, but Sam's company is someone that we subcontract a lot. So I consider like preferred partner area, and so I go, you're not a mature business yet. We're in this. I go, you're an immature business, and they don't like hearing that, but that's fine.
They really didn't.
That's fine.
But we jived really well. And I think also like certain personalities mesh
Right.
differently.
I'm not the
You're not a
greatest of
lady.
two 6-year-old
I know.
women.
You're I'm
Unless
really good with them.
I can
Like-
schmooze. I can schmooze if I need to. If it's my mom's friends, it's fine. But it's one of those things. Someone's got to be a dick to them.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as like narcissistic as this sounds, it'll be good that I was kind of a dick and just being like, no, this is how it goes online, not this way.
Yeah.
Someone's got to be the asshole to tell them like, your shit isn't going to be good unless your reviews are up online.
Well,
your
and also
your shit
Yeah,
needs to be
right.
good if you're spending money in social media advertising for a lifestyle service. And I think they got it. They got it. But
Well, I think you like definitely opened their eyes to a lot of things because a lot of the items that I was discussing with them, they were a lot more susceptible to than I would think somebody would be at that age and not knowing. Like they know that they need it, but they don't know the details of what goes into it and the manpower that goes into it. So therefore, they get scared by things. But I think
Right.
that you did a good job of
I
letting them.
I overwhelm people too much. with,
Well,
like,
I
the
think that you
technical.
might have a little bit with them too. Because they were
Good.
saying to me, they were like, so what do you think we need? And I'm like, well, I've done things in the past, like as a digital consultant and kind of like oversaw like a whole digital like strategy. But for what I'm trying to do right now, focusing more on social media, I think that these are other things that you should do, but this is a full-time job for somebody else, or at least a part-time job for somebody else.
Yeah,
It's not something that I can offer you, but you should be doing things with SEO. You should be doing,
But
XYZ.
so people don't know how to project manage people they contract too. That's another part of this. So we have an
But
agent,
that's sometimes why people like me get contracted is
Right.
to project manage.
but there's an
those others.
agency principled relationship.
Right.
So the problem with that a lot of the time is people think they go, okay, I've got a web guy. He's going to do all the IT shit. They're like, no.
That is not true.
And most can't even do design and development, honestly. Like, most can't handle both sides of that
I
coin.
need to introduce you to my friend Henry because he has a cool company out in
Yeah.
Colorado. What up, Hen?
Yeah. I want all the good people. I want to
I've
know all
used
of
him
them.
before in the past, and he's amazing. But this is the
Quality,
cool thing
cost,
about him.
delivery. It's all about that.
This is what's interesting. He is an amazing developer, but his design eye,
right.
I'm
Yeah.
like, he could have been he could have been an amazing graphic designer and not even touched programming.
I'm gonna be cocky. I'm gonna start calling myself a website producer.
But you are though.
But that, because I'm not gonna do hardcore programming, I'm not going to do hardcore design, but I'm gonna find
That middle ground.
two guys that are going to do it better.
Yeah.
That's what it is really, because it's like this. A lot of projects are like this. You have a functionality and you have a design value, right? Websites like this, and the best way to describe it, it's like a house. You have a foundation.
Here we go.
Here we go. You got your foundation, which is your CMS, your content management system, WordPress, Squarespace, Weebly, Wix, the grid, all that stuff. All right, that's your foundation. That's your slab, right?
Right, slab.
You know
Gotcha,
about WordPress.
gotcha.
Y'all are on WordPress. We're on Squarespace.
WordPress.
I've talked to you about Squarespace.
Yep.
You need to switch.
That's your content management system.
Yeah.
You do. But you have
Probably do.
you have your foundation of that. You've got the framing, right? You have the framing of a house.
Yes.
You have the 2x4s. You have the
Yep.
load bearing posts. You have all that stuff.
Did you learn that from like an HGTV show?
No.
Load bearing.
I listen.
We can't knock down
Wait,
this wall.
don't take that wall down. It's a load-bearing wall.
You've got then you've got CSS. You've got the design value. You've got your drywall. You've got your paint. You've got your crown molding. Then you're going to come back over that with some fixtures. You want that kitchen? You want that Pinterest kitchen? Okay. Well, you're going to put that slab down. You're going to put that cabinetry that you like, that you had in Pinterest. Did you want an island? Did you want an island in the kitchen? Oh, hell yeah,
I love
An island?
Did you want to hang some pots and pans? Fuck yeah, you did. In that
No, I don't
island?
wanna do
Yeah,
that.
let's do that. All right, now we're going to come back over it. Now it's about the functionality. Okay, what about little covers on your outlets? What about everything's got to be matchy? Make it Southern living good. So that's how garden gun good. Yeah.
Oh, I love garden good.
See, I appeal to the ladies out there. I got 2 older sisters. This is how I know all this shit. So it's going to be like a zipper. Same thing with video. Same thing with film.
I had no idea where the hell we were. I just came back and I'm like,
Hey,
You're like,
he
whoa.
is building a house.
Gotcha.
So
Building
a
websites like
house.
building a house, but a lot of
A good
projects.
southern house.
A
Good
lot of
projects in general.
a lot of creative
Yeah.
projects are just the same thing. You're going to have your foundation, right? You're going to have your functionality, design, and it's going to go like a zipper until the end, right? That's a lot of editing for y'all, honestly. You have the creative base. Here's the script. Here's what we're doing. Then you're going to go out and go, all right, here's the pre-production plan. Then you're going to go out there and you're going to be out in the field. You're going to do it. You're going to shoot. Then you're going to go. I'm going to do Dante Culpepper.
That's what I feel like we're doing.
But then you get up here and the editing process is all that, right? It just, and then it goes minute.
Yeah. But for the most part, absolutely. You know, I mean, I think you're taking bits and pieces of what you go out there and you expect to achieve, and then you're supplementing the fact that you didn't achieve that or you had to adjust for that, and there's an ultimate goal for the whole thing. So, I mean,
That's how I see it, kind of binary way, in a
Yeah.
little bit.
Right.
Like it's
No, I
this or
mean,
that.
I watched an episode of The Flash where the guy's like,
Of course you did.
yeah, and the guy and the guy was
not a
like,
Flash fan?
yeah, no, but that doesn't matter.
He's got the time.
But the concept was he was a thief.
Well, the Flash
They were
has-
breaking.
He
Flash
does.
has the time.
That's a good point.
Yeah, he was a thief and he was breaking into a maximum security prison. And he's like, so what do you do? He's like, I go by 3 rules. Rule number 1, make a plan. Rule number 2, expect something to go wrong.
Yep.
Rule number 3, throw away the plan
Yep.
and work with what you got.
Yeah, that's
Yep. That is life.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, and that's production. That's production.
I'm like, this guy must have been before he was a thief. He worked in video.
Yeah.
How's it going over in your
Oh, it's cool.
Half
Man.
the world.
We're getting we're working on the Keith Urban stuff, so that requires some supervision. Actually requires a lot of supervision. No, it's Friday, so it's some things are going in, some clients are getting ready to get their last approvals, so it's just a quick check in on this and that. There's paperwork and some small things, but I got a good squad over there.
I was gonna say, you really have a nice team over there.
Yeah,
Everybody seems like they're very.
Yeah, it's just pop in,
autonomous.
see where
They
everyone's
figure-
at with everything, approve this, look at that. They're doing their jobs. But we just worked together on this Keith Urban thing, and
Yeah, you mentioned
it just
that
looks
earlier.
so gorgeous.
I can't wait to see it.
I don't want to brag, but they make me look
we
good.
call it sexy.
They make me
That
look
was
good.
it was sexy.
Yeah.
It came together. It's hot.
So I mean, the client just saw some snapshots, and guys, if you're watching and you want to have some guitar lessons, tune into HSN on July 8th, and you can get yourself a guitar.
July 8th guitar, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we
Keith
might need a
Urban
guitar.
guitar.
A Keith Urban
We
guitar.
buy me a Keith Urban guitar?
No.
Why?
I'm retarded Keith Urban most of the time. That's what I look like a lot of the time.
But the idea is that we keep the thing is that we keep trying to with everything that we do. especially when you're working with a brand, you do something with a brand 1 year, and it is good. But then the next year comes around, and
You
you're
just turn into Breaking
Yeah,
Bad.
you're like,
yeah.
it is good.
And then next year you have to do something, and you have to one up yourself. You don't have to one up anybody else, but as a creative, you typically tend to one up yourself. You're
Right.
like, how do I make this a little better? How do I make this a little different? And we've been I think we need to not
Well, how
go
long
one
have you
up.
been
We've been going 10 ups.
Right.
Hey.
Well,
We've been going 10
We
ups.
came out the gate last year,
Yeah.
firing hot.
Yeah, literally. I got
Sparks,
footage.
had
I've
sparks
got
going
footage
all
of this
over
guy
the
with a
place.
metal piece and a
well, I
right,
remember. I've
sparks.
seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's absolutely gorgeous.
So, and then we completely different feel, but still beautiful, and then we,
Yeah.
and we keep escalating that, and you still have to
And
still be
live
creative.
horses.
Yeah, we have live horses.
Live horses.
So we had, and I'm nervous. I'm
Active
scared of
horses.
horses. Well,
Tell
I used
me
to be
you're
super scared of horses.
I used to
Now,
have a horse.
You used to have a horse?
Tell me about your
I had
fear
2
of
horses.
Ooh.
I
You
did?
did?
I did. I had 2 horses back in the
We
day.
should go horseback
Yeah.
riding. I haven't been in like
my
such a long
wife's had a
time.
bad
I
experience
got,
with
kicked,
horses
I got
too.
kicked right in the forehead by a horse.
Oh, that hasn't happened to me. I've been bucked off of a
I've been
horse
bucked off
like
too,
a
yeah.
lot,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
never
This thing
kicked to the
reared
forehead.
up and hit me right in the top of the head, right here.
Whoa.
Yep.
Oh, that. So I see a little
Yeah.
bruise-ish
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's
So
not
we had
Bruce
the
Wayne
live
anymore,
horses.
he's
It was a
Bruce
traumatizing
Yes, it's a
experience.
traumatizing experience, yes.
Well, we both had
Did you get
some.
knocked out?
No, I took, hey, I took it like a gangster, man.
Yeah.
What?
Backed
You
up,
was like,
I like, backed up, blood coming down my face. It was
We
actually
were like, "Where's the horse?"
Yeah.
Damn. How old?
16.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Trying
testosterone's
age.
like.
we were,
trying
we
age.
were, me
Pumping
and Conrad were skipping school, and we had a bunch of people out there, and there's a bunch. It's actually the cheerleading.
Every time
squad.
we talk about our
Nice.
earlier years, it never
I'm
sounds. We
serious.
sound like the
Like
most
they were all
delinquent.
watching.
And they were all watching, and I was pretty proud of myself. And I was like, "Psh, even a horse can't knock me down.
And then you
16
fainted.
years old.
No,
you know
kidding.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, ah.
Meanwhile, he didn't know he was suffering brain trauma.
So much blood.
Jesus. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, man.
Yeah. No, and
Right.
That's fucking hardcore, man.
I had some bad experiences with horses earlier on. I mean, I was a kid. My first one, I was way young. So my first experience with a horse was, they clearly had a sign that says, do not touch the colt. You're a kid. You see a
The colt.
The colt. You
I
see
thought you said
the.
a cult, like
No, not
yeah,
a
yeah.
colt.
Touch a colt.
I wouldn't touch an occult either, but you see the mama horse and you see the baby horse, and as a kid you think pony. So you start to go up to the pony.
Don't go up to the pony. Mama's gonna
not good about
bite
that.
you.
It's not
Mama,
Genuine's pony.
mama reared and kicked and knocked the fence down, and of course little me is like darting away. So it just so happens that every time I came around a horse since then, I've just been.
Yes,
There's been a couple
years.
other teams. They've
They call it
botched
talking
and
about
all
it.
kinds of stuff.
They call it trotting.
Yeah.
It was a rough day for Damian.
There
It was
was
a rough
several,
day for
several
Damian.
instances.
I was like, I'm
now,
here
mind
for
you,
you.
get this.
I'm here for you.
I've been on top of
Support
an
her.
alligator.
Uh-huh.
I've been on top of an
Like,
elephant.
why have you been on top of an alligator?
Because they go to we're Florida. Come on, it's they got alligator farms
You
all
haven't
over
been
the
on
place.
top of an alligator?
Oh.
I've sat on an alligator. I've held an
I'm very
alligator.
risk averse with
Had pythons around my neck.
You've had pythons around your neck.
Yeah,
Like,
rode
just,
an elephant.
like,
I've done
laying or, like, wrapped?
just
'Cause I'm imagining
Rottweilers coming up to me. I don't care about any animal on this earth.
But a horse really
horse.
strikes
Horse
your heart.
just makes me nervous
a
because
fear.
they're like dogs, and like dogs they
They're
go
like
squirrel.
dogs.
You know what I
They
mean?
go squirrel.
But when a
Oh.
horse goes squirrel, that head hits you on the side of your head, which has happened to me before. Where,
That's happened to me
where the
before,
horse
too.
is like, "What?" and you're like,
I'm
"Oh!"
putting like
You
tackle
headbutted.
on, and then they like turn, and you're
Oh,
just like,
man, yeah.
You're just like, "What the hell just hit me?" And he was just turning his head because something bit him on the side. A little fly bit him. Little itty bitty fly bites the
no,
horse.
what
Horse
do you mean, itty bitty
headbutts
fly?
you.
It's usually like a horse fly.
Whatever. Point is, the horse didn't like the fly and
big one.
headbutts
Yep.
me.
Horse
So
fly.
I'm nervous a little bit around these horses because they're like big dogs, which means that they can be clumsy. My dog, I used to have a big dog, and she used to think that she was a little puppy. She would climb on you like, God, you're so awkward. These horses kind of do the same thing. Now, this horse in particular, Troy, was
Wonderful. We have a
super
name.
nice.
Yes, Troy. Yes, Troy. Yes.
His name's Troy, and his mom is Baby Doll, right?
Baby
What?
doll. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I know
This
that.
sounds like a
Yeah.
great
You know
porno.
Troy, baby doll.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Troy the baby doll.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
And that's how it started.
so here we are, and
Photoshopping
I'm just
what?
we're scouting the location, and Troy is the curious one, and Baby Doll, the mom, is going to follow him wherever he goes. So he comes up, and he's like, What's this? What is
In the
this?
dreads.
What is this? Hey, I'm out here in the country. No one out here has dreads.
Yeah.
So he's like this, and I'm like, don't move. But then here comes Mom on the other side. Now I feel like the scene from Jurassic Park where the two raptors are like
Oh,
there,
God.
and Mama's coming in from this
No.
side, and I'm like, just don't move. Conrad, on the other hand, can't get his phone out fast enough.
Oh,
He's
no, sitting
dying,
there like,
trying to get the recording. He's like, "Go in, this is so funny," and I'm just like, "Don't move, just stay still." But I'm thinking at any point in time, if Troy decides that, "Hey, Mom, come check this out," and takes this and goes running with it, I'm just getting dragged through dirt and shit and everything. I'm just gonna get pulled along the way. This was going through my head at this time.
Really strong hair.
I do have actually very, very strong hair, but that means that my head is going with it. So I better start running along with Troy if he takes off with my hair. So yes, I was a little nervous. Hypothetically. But Troy was actually really, really cool. I pet him.
That all went through his head in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
And after that,
happens
you know,
fast.
I'm like, you know what? I could dig Troy. I could dig his mom, baby doll. I could hang with them. Those two horses, I'm
They
cool with.
didn't make me do that. They didn't make me go through all that, so they're cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
So, long story short, like the horse was nice to you. You fed it. Did you feed it
Dude,
sugar
I
cubes?
kept biscuits on me like all the time, just in case. Like, hey, I'm the guy with the biscuit. Remember me? Hey, what's up?
Look
Bribery.
me in the eye. Look me in the
Bribery.
eye.
Man, I don't fuck with animals like that.
We almost went through a whole jar of biscuits. Like more biscuits.
Big
First
container
off,
biscuits.
my thing with horses is like every chick every chick thinks like horses are majestic.
I love she's like, what chick?
Huh? What'd you say?
What
Coming to the defense of all women
Oh,
everywhere.
she's ready. She's
Every
ready.
chick thinks like horses are majestic, and I just like they just smell like shit all the time. Like I
Not
don't
like
get-
majestic, but they're like a unique creature. Like, I wouldn't say that they're majestic.
Why?
Though.
But why
it's not
are
a damn
why, are,
unicorn.
why is there proclivity for women to love horses?
Because there's like, okay, it is and I'm sure this happens to guys too, though. But like, think about like those romantic novels when you're little, walking around the bookstore. Now, this probably doesn't happen for like people who are kids
What's a
now, but like,
bookstore?
exactly, I know. But like, you walking around the bookstore, you like mosey off to a section where you know you're not supposed to be, and you look at those covers, and you're like, ooh, the guy with the flowing hair, the woman with the nipple out, and there's a
I can't
horse.
believe it's not butter.
Well, even the Old Spice commercials had the guy on the horse.
I
Look
was
at me,
gonna say,
I'm a horse. You know what I
Like,
mean? It's
okay,
like,
so the point being, it's the media that makes it majestic, and woman-targeted items
Okay.
that the majesticness
dude,
comes
Oh,
through
you
with
put
the
horses
horses.
in all our women
Okay.
items.
Horse tampons.
Horse.
I mean, tampons that have a horse mascot.
Probably.
Now-
Yeah.
No,
now
it had
I
to be a
can
unicorn
tell-
in that case.
Yeah. Oh, bam.
With the tampon coming out the
Now we're
top.
talking. Now
Boom.
we're talking.
Done. Majestic.
See how this creative
Easy fits.
stuff works, guys?
This is what a real
That's it.
brainstorming creative
That's it.
session really
And
looks
you
like.
just- and you just witness that.
Do it.
I need to Venmo.
Would you?
some
Would
cash.
that make it more majestic?
But
If it was, because think about the spiral of the tampon, right? Because it's like
there's
a spiral.
nothing majestic about
You know,
having a
it's-
period
it's-
or a
it's-
tampon.
But it's coming out of a horse.
Especially on
So
your head.
since it's coming out of a horse, you know what I mean? And he's just like,
No, that's a big
no.
no.
If it had that look, maybe. The look sells it a little bit.
You know,
The look sells it a
gotta
little
have the 1 foot up, the 1 foot down, like
No.
you know.
No.
Coming out, no.
That's a show ponies.
Done.
Because then, like, if you really think about it, it's like, okay, so the tampon's up there, so how do I get it in me? Oh, I have to sit on the fucking horse's
No, you
face.
just gotta lean back. Well, yes, you could do that.
Then that part breaks off.
That happened.
It breaks
I'm
off.
That
figuring
happened,
they just
yes.
they just lower their head and just
This
go
is why.
in.
This is really why I wanted this podcast to go really long. Because you get into hour 2 or 3 and it gets really weird. That's my zone. That's
I
the
hope my
zone.
mom's not watching. No, she doesn't have Facebook. So.
All
Oh
moms
no!
start
Don't worry!
doing
Don't,
Facebook.
my
don't
My mom
worry!
does.
This will be out. I'll put this on YouTube and I'll put this on anything that's public.
Everywhere.
Everything,
Everywhere.
anywhere that your
I'm
mom.
really excited
I
about
have
this.
your mom-
Hashtag your
Hey,
mom's name.
Dad.
At-
I want to try to make it to 3 hours. Let's see if we can do it. We only
We
need to
totally
go.
can.
Oh, we only need to go another 20 minutes or so.
That's easy.
What else is on y'all's mind? What's going on other than unicorn tampons?
Unicorn.
Unicorn tampons is actually at the top of my mind. The funny thing is,
that
I'm
was-
getting
yeah.
married on November 11th.
What?
Unipacks.
And she just put on Facebook that she wants a unicorn, so maybe that's what brought the unicorn thing up. I'm not
Oh, yeah?
sure.
Does she understand unicorns don't exist?
Dude,
Do you know? Do you know the theme
We're
of this
having-
wedding?
What? What is the thing?
We're having an enchanted forest wedding.
What? Am I
Yeah.
invited?
Yeah, of
Can-
course.
I'm so excited.
I'm surprised you're not part of my group already.
Whoa, Mike! Yeah, I think I'm bleeding from the ears.
Hey, Enchanted Forest. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we actually have, we're going to have some really fun stuff. I mean, her family's excited. We were talking about Comic-Con earlier, we're both cosplayers.
Are you gonna try? Oh, you're gonna be so
Is that-
Oh,
majestic.
it's gonna be so many.
Let's
so
talk
much
about what
nerds out there.
cosplay is, because a lot of people don't know.
Cosplay is basically
It's not
dress up.
cosplay.
Cosplay is basically dress up. Like they used to be nerdy and you couldn't do it in the past. Like, what do you mean you're dressed up as an animated character? You're such a fucking dork. Now it's like, oh, what character are you dressing up as? And can I top it? Or can I be? There's now costumes and there's contests and now there's actual stores that dedicate to their fabrics. And Joann's has a whole section for cosplay costumes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Joanne's my
Joann's
girl?
fabric. No.
You're a girl.
Yeah, your other girl. Yeah.
No, I love Joanne's
Yeah.
fabrics. I mean, what?
Go in Joann's. There's a
I mean, I'm a
cosplay
Michael's,
section.
I'm a Michael's guy, by the way.
On
Oh.
Sunday.
Yes.
You want to find them?
He's
Joanne
a Joann.
fabric.
Not near the
Yes.
cosplay section.
Where else are you gonna get felt, guys?
That's true. But no, yeah, so now it's this huge thing now. Everyone just dresses up as characters from movies, comic books, animes, games. And they've gotten really good. I'm talking about some of these guys you would think are professional costume designers. So much so that Stan Winston, which is a creature effects facility that did things like, Jurassic Park and things of that nature, they actually have lessons online that you could sign up for. StanWinstonStudios.com. You can sign up for lessons. They'll show you how to do latex masks, molds, and stuff like that. They have real costume stuff.
That's crazy.
But people are taking these lessons and
Commitment.
applying it to their cosplays. I could show you
Is it
people that are
called How
making.
Not to Get Laid?
That's not
Oh
true.
no, that's not true.
That's
no,
not
hold on,
true.
hold on. Wait,
That's not
wait,
true.
wait,
Guys.
real story.
You
real
don't
story.
understand.
Everybody got offended.
And we're
at
gonna-
once.
5 years ago, that was comedy gold.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
cosplay
that's
is a
the
totally
times,
That's
different
for the
thing.
times. Let me tell you
I
something
don't.
right now.
I haven't
I'm
done
freaking
it.
hater.
A person who I will not mention, but he'll know that I'm talking about if he gets this far into the cast. Dressed up as the Joker.
We can timestamp them.
Yeah,
Timestamp. Do it.
dressed up as the Joker to a Comic-Con.
Which Joker are we talking?
The latest one, Jared Leto, before the movie came out.
Oh,
so before
okay.
people hated on it.
My head went Heath Ledger, so.
Yeah, well, no, he
Oh.
pulled off the
That's
Jared
man
Leto.
candy.
Yeah,
Went-
that's
did he have the ha ha
Heath
ha?
Ledger.
he had it all.
Oh.
He did it. He did it all. He had it all. And it was before the film came out, so people still probably were kind of like, "Hey, this is going to be a hot thing." Mind you,
I don't need an emo Joker.
according to
Dashboard
according to
confessional
according to
Joker.
good sources, he got not once but twice at the Comic Con at the same time because they were like,
Statistically
"Yo,
speaking,
hot nerd Joker, yes." They were
Really?
like, "Yes and yes, sign me up."
set the record. Set the
The record forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Maybe no one else at the cosplay place got. No, I'm
Not
not
one,
sure.
but
He set the record of the whole place.
Point being is that, dude, there's nothing but
couple
hot
and
nerds.
it's awesome
A couple Harley
that
Quinns.
it was.
in there?
It was awesome that it was like actually keeping track of that. Like, hey, this Joker on 2016 Comic Con, not once but
We have
twice.
It's like two whole ones.
we have a spreadsheet to show the statistic growth
Yes.
of nerdisms and
Yes.
orgasms. There's a ratio.
There's a ratio.
Tom's face is on the wall next to his cosplay is like my hero.
You think that Chris Evans gets more laid after? I mean, yes, he's married, but if he was single, before Captain America or after Captain America?
After.
What did he do
Absolutely.
before that? Not another teen
Definitely
movie?
No,
after.
he did plenty of movies
What?
before it.
What?
He did a bunch of them. He even did films with Scarlett Johansson before.
No.
Yes.
Ghost World doesn't count.
I don't know what the hell the films were, but he did them, and he was a good-looking dude then.
Yeah.
But after
It
Captain
definitely-
America,
it definitely raised-
his stock
It
Oh,
raised
went
his
up.
stock,
That-
yeah,
that's
for
your-
So-
sure. For sure.
That's your man crush. We get it.
So no, now take someone,
Look, every
take
dude's got-
someone,
Yep.
and put him in
Imagine
a
while
cap.
he's in Captain America.
Look,
costume.
every
Right.
dude's got a man crush Hall of Fame. Chris Evans is clearly the top of the leaderboard of yours.
Clearly, yeah, right. But my point being is that the
Man crush, who would you
cosplay.
go gay for? Chris Evans, right?
See, I'm not really into the blue-eyed dudes.
Okay.
What?
I wouldn't go blue-eyed dude
So
probably.
who's in your man crush Hall of Fame? Give me top three.
Shit, I have to think about that for a second.
Mike, you're on deck, man, because you're gonna have to answer this
They
too.
start thinking,
Man.
I know,
start thinking.
that's what I was like,
I think shit.
It doesn't have to be actors.
You have really long eyelashes.
I did.
It's a very chick thing.
Side
to say.
note.
Why
I don't know. Shit, I haven't thought about it.
Come on.
Are they long? I've never-
Jason Momoa, I would say.
Who's that?
He's the guy who's playing Aquaman, who played Khal Drago in Game of Thrones. He's a good-looking dude. He's strong. He's big. He's like, yeah.
Powerful.
I'd be like, yeah,
He
man.
hug
You know,
you? Yeah.
He actually, I actually took a picture with him, and he makes me look small.
Really?
He makes me look tiny.
Because
he's like
usually the actors are really
6'4".
tiny.
No, all the people that they get for DC are big dudes. Like Superman, is like 6'3", big
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Affleck's probably what, 6'2", something
yeah,
like that.
6'2", but they're all like big dudes. So,
Girthy, yeah.
yeah, they got the girthiest
Girth.
crew of them all.
And a wide
Yeah.
dick too. What?
What?
Yeah,
Huh?
what?
So wait, all right. So Aquaman is your number one in Man Crush Hall of Fame.
It's just the one I could think of, like,
Let's
because
get
of
this
I'm just like,
The fact that I'm sitting here contemplating this is kind of awkward.
it is. I'm trying to think,
Because
like,
I know that
what you got?
I know that's why I'm next, but I'm like really thinking like, damn, if I were
Man
like,
Crush Hall of
I'm
Fame.
not
I'm
entirely
ru-
sure. Like, this is not
I'm running through
like.
John, how
Hector
about this?
Velez.
Oh.
Wait, say that again?
But no one-
Wait, way to bring it
Velez.
back. There you
Yes.
go.
Your business partner.
Yes.
I was gonna
yes.
say, a little Hector action.
Mr. Garbanzo himself.
So
Mr.
what
Garbanzo
about
himself.
John Hamm? He's a good-looking man.
Yeah.
John
he is.
Draper, not your type.
Don Draper?
He's in my top three.
He's
I don't know
charming.
what
He's a
Don
charming
Draper
dude.
is.
He's
He's a
Charming
charming
dude.
What did,
Yeah.
what did John Draper do?
Yeah.
He's a charming man.
John Hamm?
Madman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's charming looking. Yeah, I mean,
Looking.
I mean, but personally, I think if I was gonna be a chick, okay, let me flip this because it makes it easier if I'm a chick.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
if I was gonna be a
Let's go
chick,
there.
I think I would.
See, then you gotta put that. That is
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
should
because-
lead.
Yeah,
If you were a
because If I
girl,
was a girl, I think I would go
Who
for
would
more
you
the
fuck?
bad boys, and I would probably be like a Tom Hardy kind of gal.
You do like the bad boys.
Yeah, I would be because that's the Jason Momoa,
Aquaman.
Tom Hardy. I would go for the
I feel
more
like
bad
he was
boy
really
type.
ready.
You know,
Second
now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I'd have to think
Tom
of like
Hardy's
a
a good
chick.
choice.
Like,
Tom
I wouldn't,
Hardy's a good choice.
see, the Chris Evans thing would be like, pretty boy, good looking, captain
He's
of the football
Captain
team.
America.
And I'm like,
It's you know,
that's
it's like
not,
red, white,
you
and
know,
blue.
Vanilla.
Yeah, red, white, and blue.
yeah,
it's
because
like
I want someone probably more on the darker side, a little gruffer. If I was shit, they'd have to probably look like me.
Oh my.
You know, in a sense of like a
Manny
handsomer,
Ramirez.
taller, more, a handsome, taller, more
Whoopi
muscular
Goldberg?
version of me probably. But yeah, you know, that's how I would have to look at it. I couldn't
Alright.
approach it from a dude's perspective. I'm like, I don't know.
However you gotta approach it. However you gotta approach it.
whatever you gotta do to get your head in that
it's the
space.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta get my head in that
Man
space.
Crush Hall of Fame. So who you got? Who you got?
Oh man.
You have to do a lady one, by the way.
Wait, a lady version?
Yeah.
Who's in your lady crush?
Like, does it have to be a superhero lady?
No,
Okay.
that's just what came to my to the
Like
foreground
Wonder
of my
Woman,
brain.
I feel like for a lot of ladies, would be
They
like,
could
yeah,
go
I
for
could get
Wonder
down with
Woman.
that.
They can, they can Gal Gadot. Yeah, sure, why not?
I projected that
See,
onto a lot of
the
women,
thing is
but-
that you kind of have a little gal going for you. You got the dark hair, blue eyes. So you're like, I see that in the mirror. What you might want to go for
Oh.
something else. Hey, it's a little compliment. There you go, Bob. Take it.
that was a dad move.
Yeah, that's
That was a compliment.
Yeah. Take that. You take
I got
You take
accused
that.
of being the '80s dad so many times. Here. She's like, I'm cold. Go run around the block. You'll be fine. He'll appreciate the AC.
All right, Mike, would your Man Crush Hall of Fame Tebow? What are we talking? Because you look like
Sean
Tebow.
Connery.
Sean Connery.
I'm
you
going
go
for the
older.
distinguished gentleman.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, Sean Connery.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you would deal with his wrinkled balls?
No one complains. No one
There's
one
no
complains.
objection.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yes.
Everyone's down with
Don't
that.
make me think that far into it. You know what I'm saying?
No, just think like you rub his beard.
Hey, but I just remember watching The Rock and thinking like, this dude's really cool.
This dude's
Hey, when he rolled under that fire,
and I've got a rock.
you
in
know
my
what I mean? That
pants.
moment.
So why am I watching
Somebody
this?
straight up Snapchatted me back and was like,
What's
"What's
your
your
career?"
career?"
There you go.
What?
Making night moves. I think you gotta go. John Hamm's got to be in there. Bo Jackson, of course. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you would go gay then back straight for both.
Whatever Bo knows. Bo knows everything. And I think you got to go. Let's see. Tough. I mean, Val Kilmer might be in there, but
Val
we
Kilmer.
got to see
Val Kilmer.
weight issues. He's been up to 300 at some point.
Oh.
So
Stretch marks.
Yeah, and I don't always have to go actor, celebrity, or athlete. You can go, titans of industry or
Business
politician.
tycoon.
If I was gonna marry somebody, I could probably marry Neil deGrasse and have like awesome conversations with him all day.
That would be interesting, right?
I think it's
I could do
it's
that.
more of like a.
It's a more
It's not a sexual thing.
That
I think,
wouldn't
at
be-
that
that
point.
would-
It's an
that'd be like-
intellectual
It's an
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be an intellectual
absolutely,
thing.
yeah.
The pillow talk would be like, so how many? So we didn't really touch because he said this in the thing. We didn't really touch. Our atoms have apparently a barrier around them, an electronical barrier around them. So we didn't ever actually physically.
Which, by the way, did you see that
That's a good
music
out.
video, Lil Dicky?
yes.
You did watch it
Lil
with
Dicky.
the little brain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, I did not. No, I haven't
Oh
seen
my
it yet.
God.
He made me watch it. I was
Yes.
like, "What is happening?"
How awesome is that music video? It's like amazing.
Yeah.
It's like
Actually, you know what? You never texted to me because we went straight
I
to
know.
Wing House.
It was awesome.
So I didn't quite get that text. So
All
yeah,
right.
so send that to me.
7 minutes left. Anything?
Sam still got to go.
Sam, ladies.
Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
Oh,
classic.
she
That's
went
classic.
What do you mean
vintage.
that's weak? I kissed her grave.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
I love
there
her.
is a reason behind
Yes.
that law.
I want to hear about it now. It's story.
Well, I mean, I just love Marilyn Monroe. I think that she's amazing.
You know, there's a boat in the harbor right here over in Channelside. That's the Marilyn
Mast?
Monroe's, right?
Oh,
there.
really?
Yeah.
Let me ask you
It's
something.
black
Would
on the
you,
bottom and white on
My
the
would
top.
friend-
would you sub Marilyn for Scarlett right now?
No.
Really? They got the same body type.
I know they do, but I don't know.
Similar look.
If I had to do somebody right now, it'd be like Mila Kunis.
Oh, nice.
Ah,
There you
nice.
go.
Yeah.
Or
We're getting places now.
Now we're talking.
Now I feel like shock jock radio DJ. Like, all right, let's bring the strippers. Come on in. All right, let's do this. 6 minutes left. Let's do advice to give to the youngins, the sweat equity advice. What y'all did. Go ahead.
One of the first things I did was I will definitely tell anybody, put yourself out there a little bit, reach out to the people that are in the industry and try to see how you can get to know them socially on the internet. Now that's convenient, you got that now. There are events, there are a lot of things that you can look up online to get involved with, just to get yourself seen. But more importantly, once you do show up, be as productive and as helpful as you can be. Do not step in people's way, but definitely be a presence, but don't be a nuisance. That's what I would definitely say. And from
That's
there,
good.
you can build your reputation.
That's good.
One word. Listen.
Mhm.
What?
Listen.
Huh?
Listen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
But I listen. I listen in a different way.
Yeah.
You ever get that? Those kind of guys.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. And it literally means take a step back. You don't have to answer every single little comment with another comment of yourself. Just take a step back and just watch and listen. You know what I mean? And 99% of the time, you're going to learn some valuable information, and you're gonna gain some valuable experience that you can apply to your next your next project or whatever the case may be. And you don't have to talk all the time, or you don't have to tell people that you know what to do. You know what I mean? Just sit back and listen.
Yeah, I like that. Samantha again. Social alchemy.
She was listening.
I was listening.
Let's get you up to the mic there.
I would say, I'd reiterate what these two just said. Get yourself out there, make sure that you're making a difference and a presence, but also be creative. Like, don't be afraid for people to say no to you, because if you never ask, then you're never gonna know. And more likely than not, people will be surprised that you're even inquiring about something, so they'll say yes, even if you're a little bit scared. Be consistent in whatever you do, be honest in whatever you do, and make sure, most importantly, that you're enjoying what you do.
Yeah, that sounds too self-esteemy for me. That sounds too good. Like, you gotta like yourself.
Which is
I go the other
interesting, 'cause
way.
I have issues with that.
No, that's fine.
I know, but I have issues with that.
You're the other way though. Like, that's good. That's good self-love stuff. I think that's good for you. I think a lot of kids, a lot of people younger than us.
Can't call me kid.
No. A lot of people, let's say 25 or younger,
Okay, good.
where their brains haven't fully developed. Technically, is what I'm understanding. Is I think like you have too much.
Are they still
self-esteem.
developing at 25? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
That's the new
From
thing.
love, all that stuff. And so, and not everything's set until about your mid-20s.
I've burned so many cells between 21 and
Sure.
25, so
We
I
all
don't think
have.
I've never fully developed.
We all
It's
have.
okay.
But I'm saying like all those things are good. I'd say having low self-esteem will push you harder. I'd say that's a thing of like, you're not that good, you're not that smart, you're not an expert yet, you're not a professional. That drives me, especially because I go, I'm not that. Well, yeah, that's fine. That's good. Low self-esteem seems like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing. It makes you go, it makes you humble, it makes you go, I'm not the expert yet. Even when you're around other experts like Kevin Smith, where you're not like, you're not going, yeah. And to your degree, to your point, the listening part, you're not going, yeah. When I did this film over here, we did this, and we did this. You're just going, yeah, yes sir, no sir, whatever. Moving on. What do we got to get done? What do we got to do? I got to be a defensive coordinator. We got to get out there, think 3 steps ahead. All those things. So I always think low self-esteem is a good thing. It's not a pejorative. It's a thing that will drive you harder. I think I've got it. I think it makes you a better creative overall too. So that's how we're going to end this podcast. Woo!
Everybody
about
go out
3
there.
hours.
Everybody
Pretty
go out
good.
there and get low self-esteem.
Yeah, or just don't think you're that good, or
And do you and enjoy it.
or know what you don't know. That's the other part. Know what you. That's the part I was trying to get to. Is know what you don't know. You know.
3 hours later, you got to it.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
how we
we're
do it.
there.
That's it.
That's what you call filibuster, son.
Woo!
All right. Thank you all for
Marathon.
listening. We out.